from the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial Ballistix.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the LG Ultragear presents TEC Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Crucial, apparel partner 656, and accessories partner Cosmic Byte. It's been a hell of a break that we've had, right? And we're coming back to a huge set of matches that we've got today. Starting off right on the bat today for you, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Velocity Gaming going up against Weird Esports. And later in the evening, we've got ENIGMA fighting off Reckoning. And Salty, it's been a while. We're back on the screens yet again. We've got these huge matches coming up. What are you feeling? How do you think today's match is going to end up as well?
I mean, these matches are big matches, right? Especially Enigma versus Reckoning. That's like a neck-to-neck tie. Velocity versus Weird Esports. Once again, Velocity, huge team. It's going to be a huge opportunity for Weird Esports. But if we talk about the matches, honestly, I feel like Weird Esports, for them, their best bet would be to take a map off of Velocity Gaming and at least try and get above on the league points table, because that is the most important thing out of everything. So, I mean, the matches for sure are big, but then their outcome is even greater and has a long-lasting implications on how the tournament is going to progress. We know that Group A is sort of a place where underdogs can have an opportunity to progress towards the playoff stages. Velocity Gaming is probably the only team, apart from Enigma Gaming and Reckoning aside, who is probably a short to make it to the playoffs. So, I mean, a lot of teams, a lot of underdog teams will be licking their lips to try and make it to the playoffs so that they can at least make it to the big stages and probably play some high stake, high action games.
Yeah, that is true. The thing about these games is that you every time you have a thing about, okay, this is going to happen, this is not going to happen, eh, you more or less could be right. But, after watching what happened in the last few games, you have to see the kind of, differences that these teams can bring up, especially FS Esports, right? An underdog team that almost gave Velocity Gaming a run for its money in the previous, the time they faced off. 2-1, Velocity did win it. But it's about the underdogs in this group, just like you said. Let's have a look at who exactly are on the MVP standings, though. The big guys, the big guns, and it's not gonna change yet again. It's gonna be the same set of people as we left them be: Paradox, Deathmaker, Deadly, and Cactus. And we're gonna see that man, Deathmaker, in action today, and it's
As well
gonna
as
be
Deadly 10.
pretty, as well as Deadly 10, exactly. We're gonna have both of these players on the server, and depending on the maps, I don't know what exactly Deadly is gonna be playing, but I should believe that he should be picking up that either the Jet or the secondary duelist role as well. And Deathmaker, well, we all know he's one Instalocker Jet that we would never get mad at.
For sure, for sure. I mean, look at the stats, man. When your jet is probably giving you like what 118 kills in barely a few matches, having an average combat score of 296, winning MVPs 3 times, you know that all right, this man is delivering. This man is gonna take us to victory and let us cross the finishing line. Yeah, let him take his agent. Let him take the agent that he loves, and why not? When Deathmaker plays like that, when he plays the agent that he loves. But of course, Deadly 10 is going to be, I would say, a shining underdog. I really want to see what he can pull off. Probably because one of the first times I'll see him under my radar. So it's going to be interesting. I am looking for some nice Deathmaker versus Deadly 10 battle. But then again, it's going to be a team versus team. And just like I mentioned, Velocity Gaming, if they stretch their legs a little bit, Weird Esports, they'll pounce on that opportunity like a tiger and try and snatch up a match away from Velocity.
Yeah, and I think that that has to be their own map pick, because if they're not able to pull it off, I'm pretty sure Velocity, they have a huge map pool, by the way. I think apart from Ascent, they're pretty great with everything. But let's have a look at the group standings, though. As we all have known the fact that Velocity Gaming are at the top of things right now, along with FS Esports with no loss. The only
Ooh.
thing is that FS Esports actually have one extra point that they took off of Velocity, and with one extra game played, it's not going to matter as much. Velocity can pull off this win and go right back on top with 6 points. But how good is it watching FS Esports come out on top over here, Salty? Because you really expect, Velocity, Enigma, Salt, okay, Salty Esports, all three of these teams to be on top of there. But FS is actually giving these guys a huge, huge competition. And honestly, I love it. I love watching the underdogs pop out of nowhere. What do you feel about it?
Exactly, same feelings, honestly. You look at Group A, right? Group A only has like 3 established teams. If you try and name them, it's going to be Velocity, Enigma, and Reckoning for me. Reckoning, they've had a rough patch. They are going through 2 losses and are up against Enigma, who is sort of in good form. They've been winning tournaments, coming up second runners up as well. So they are in good form. It's going to be a tough time against them as well. With the new roster, Reckoning will pretty much be the underdogs going up against them. You look at the 3 teams, you already know that, all right, there's a slot for the playoffs. There is a slot where 4 or 5 underdog teams will be licking their lips to go in. FS Esports being the top contender for it. Just look at it. I mean, for sure, maintaining the number 1 position is going to be difficult for them. Velocity, Enigma, they're going to be coming in at them hard and chasing them with all their heat to honestly try and topple FS Esports and let them go down. But even if they go down, I feel like FS Esports, they have a good platform to kind of set up that league stage on from this position, because you look at this, they have 5 points already. And if I remember from the statistics from like the past 2 seasons, you know that you probably need an average of like what 10 to 12 points to probably get through. And that basically means FS Esports, they have that platform, they have that safety net to fall back on, and they might be able to cross the finishing line. But it's not just FS. We saw Weird Esports was there as well. One more victory, and they will be up there with, I believe, 4 points as well, which is the line currently right now. Weird Esports, Salt Esports, all of these teams, they are in the same, I would say, a same plane as considered in the same race. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting pair of matches. And for sure, just like I mentioned, there are going to be some long lasting implications of these.
Yeah, Absolutely, I have to agree with you there. But let's have a look at the teams. The stars are going to be coming out right now from both these sides, and let's start off with Velocity Gaming, as this is a lineup which, well, to be honest, needs no words. But at the same time, how many of the words you give them is probably going to be, just as less. Marzel, Amaterasu, Helef, Right to Ace, and Deathmaker. And on the backs of it, they've also got MW1, who is a part of the squad. They've also got Vapor, who's a part of the squad. And, no matter which angle you look at this team in, you're only going to see destruction.
I mean, destruction is probably a word which doesn't really. They can do much more than that, to be honest. This is one of the largest lineups that I've seen, and every single player is capable to be a first team player in every single lineup. You look at the caliber of players, like individually, I'm talking about. You look at Amaterasu, you look Right to Ace, you look at Marzel, you look at Deathmaker, Helef. All of these players, they're so experienced individually to stand on their own, and when they form a team together, a team that can function under the cool and calm leadership of Amaterasu, you know that this team is gonna pop some heads and really cause damage, just like you call it destruction. They can cause destruction in the servers and in the tournament. Honestly, in whichever tournament they play, Velocity, they've been the best team in the country for quite some time right now. They've faced competition from the likes of Global Esports. They've faced competition from the likes of Enigma, probably. But I mean, honestly, Velocity, they've been at the top. They've done this in the past as well, and they know how to really finish games. Even if they stretch their legs, just like I mentioned, if they stretch their legs a little too much, VD Sports might take a map away from them. But still, I mean, the odds are really stacked in favor of Velocity Gaming, especially for this game. I cannot see this game going in the side of Weird Esports until they put up some monumental performance in front of us.
That is true. If Weird Esports really want to take a point off, at least off of Velocity, a monumental performance is probably going to be an understatement at that point, even. But let's have a look at who's going to be shining a little bit brighter for the side of the black and yellow. Coming up the player spotlight is none other than the big brain IGL himself, Amaterasu. I mean, this is a man who, to be honest, as bright as his smile is, his career has been the same as well, I believe. He's a cheerful man. We love watching him play. We love watching, when he comes on, streams as well. He's just such a great personality to be around, and well, he's probably as good as any other IGL in the country or in the region. He and Hellranger are like these two veterans that go off against each other with their 200 IQ strats, but the versatility of Amaterasu is what actually makes me so intrigued about his gameplay, because he not only can play a Sentinel, he can play a controller, he can play the initiator, he can also play the duelist if need be. We've seen
Is there any category that's left?
I mean, I don't think so. I'm not quite. If there's a new category of agents that come out, I probably think that he's going to take over that as well. We've seen him play the Phoenix. He's played the Sage. He's played, Omen. He's played Brimstone, Breach. He's played literally every single agent there is. He's so good at what he does. He's just an amazing guy, in game and off game. What are your thoughts about him, Salty? Because honestly, if you want to go up against the mind of this guy, you're going to need a lot more brain power than you already do.
Exactly. I mean, probably the best part about Amaterasu is the fact that he is always calm and cool under adversity. When the team is under pressure, I remember the phase when the first Velocity 1.0, they kind of, certain players left. Velocity was under a lot of pressure. This man knew that, all right, I have certain players under my wings and I'm going to transform this team as well. And from that pits, from the rock bottom, he pulled the team back, and now they're back again with their shining glory. So, I mean, it's important to have an IGL like that. It's important, just like you mentioned, he's a cheerful guy. It's important to have a personality who is leading the team and holding the flag for the team. And of course, with the black and yellow on his chest, I feel like this team can go much, much far ahead. But with that being said, I feel like it's enough of Velocity. We also have another team that is coming up, and that's going to be Weird Esports. And I'm pretty sure as an underdog, this team can do a lot of wonders. We have seen them play really well. It's just a matter of time before we see what they can put up on the board against this Goliath side again of Velocity.
I mean, to be honest, this is a team that kind of, emanates what its name says. Weird Esports have got a really interesting lineup. 5 different individuals from 5 different, directions have come in and said, okay, you know what? Maybe we should all drive in the same way. And they got into a car, and now the car is named Weird Esports, and they're running this race against the top dogs of the region. And to be honest, I expected not much out of Weird Esports. I thought that they're gonna have a difficult time, but when I saw their roster and the way they performed in their first 2 matches, honestly, they blew my mind away. Everybody over here knows what they want to do. Everybody here knows how exactly they want to function. And to be honest, Weird Esports is a team that, as an underdog, you would consider as probably one of the underdogs that can actually beat out anybody you put in front of them, given their right day, right? So
Mm-hmm.
they've got a pretty great lineup: Rio, Deadly, Pixel, Storm, and Bad Love. To be honest, I did not really know how Storm was going to perform when he came in. But when he did come in, oh my God, I am now probably a fan of this guy. The way he plays around that Sentinel role is almost as good as any other person out there. And his aim is just as crispy. So Weird Esports, well, they definitely are a competition to be looked at.
Exactly. I mean, you look at Deadly 10, you know that he's going to be that explosive duelist. You look at Pixels, you can, shuttle between the controller as well as Sentinel role. He has always been that anchor for the team to kind of let the rest of the team flow in different directions and try and pick an opening. So this team really has what it takes to function at the top of the game. And for sure, up against Velocity Gaming, this is just like you said, this is going to be one team I would pitch as an underdog to try and go up against Velocity Gaming and win games. They can certainly do so, but then it's only time that's gonna tell. And honestly, it's also about the battlegrounds where they play in. I feel like Rady Sports, if they get a map pick which kind of goes in their favor, I wouldn't really be surprised if they can cause some upset. With that being said, I guess we'll have to look at the players who are going to be shining bright from the side of Weird Esports. Not for sure. I mean, it's going to be Deadly 10, right? He is in the MVP standings already. Okay, Bad Love Universe. What do you have to say about him?
Bad Love is, probably just as, him as he's a primarily duelist of the team. He plays a jet. He is, really, really interesting in the way that he goes around, with the operator. He's so versatile. He's so, um, I want to say that this guy's role in the team is probably one of the most important, because I think his team pivots on him to get that first pick, apart from Deadly. Because Bad Love is a guy who, he's good with the operator, he's good with the knives, his movement is just as good, it adds up. And it's really, a player that you can count upon to find spaces where you really think that your team is not able to make any sort of movements, right? So the thing about Bad Love is that at times he might require a little bit of support, which, if not given, could maybe hamper his entire ability to shine as brightly as he is as a jet. But individually as well, this guy is a beast on his good days, and his stats give out the same: 70 kills, 61 deaths, 12 assists, and ACS of 223. Bad Love is definitely somebody you would really not minding having as a jet on your team, as the spearhead who can dash in the sights and find you some in entry frags in space.
Absolutely. I mean, entry space is probably something which we esports need on, because Velocity, they've got a defense that really is like a fort. Breaking that and probably getting into sight and planting the spike and coming back is going to be important for weird esports. Now, you know what, Universe, I guess you'll understand the football reference. A lot of underdog teams, when they play against big teams, they try and use a counter-attacking strategy. Do you think like the same strategy is going to apply in this game as well? Like probably just wait for Velocity to make mistakes and then pounce on them and probably make them cost it.
I you know I'm actually not sure, because it depends on the sort of mistakes that are committed. Velocity are known to not commit as many mistakes, but let's see where exactly they could be, not committing or committing these mistakes, as the map reader screen is going to be coming up. And let's have a look at what exactly we're going to be seeing in front of our screens today. It's going to be Haven by Weird Esports.
Oof.
Velocity are going to be okay. This is interesting. All right. So Weird Esports are somehow comfortable with letting Velocity have Breeze, which I believe is a huge mistake to let go. I think that if you have Velocity against you, I mean, I would probably ban every single map, but just because they're that good at it. But I think the first map should have, first ban should have probably been Breeze, just because of the fact that Velocity are, probably the team right now that are untouched on Breeze apart from Global Esports, right? So I'm
Yeah.
not quite sure how Weird Esports, are thinking this through. Haven is also a map where they, absolutely dominate Velocity unless there's some sort of a hiccup that comes in. Just like you said, mistakes can be made, and mistakes were made the last time Velocity played on Haven. And let's see how it goes, though. I'm really interested if Weird Esports pull out Haven. This is definitely going to a map 3, but if Velocity pull out Haven, this will end a 2-0, I believe. Salty, what are your thoughts?
I mean, the first two maps, they already look really heavy on the side of Velocity Gaming. It would take a lot of guts. If I were Weird Esports, I would probably choose something like an Ascent or Bind to be my first map. But nonetheless, I've chose Haven. And just like I said, it takes a lot of guts to take Haven against Velocity Gaming, a team that has so much experience, as well as the experience of playing hard-fought battles on the map of Haven. It's going to be difficult because on Haven, you always need a lot of strategies to work with. Velocity, they have a library of those. Weird Esports, I'm not really sure. So it's going to be tough, but I'm sure they have picked the map thinking about certain things. I'm pretty sure they can pull off a good performance, but taking the first map away from Velocity Gaming is certainly going to be a challenge. And just like you mentioned, Breeze is a no-brainer. Breeze has to be Velocity stuff. Breeze has to be the map where they absolutely dominate. But yeah, the prospect of this situation going to Bind and having a decider is really bleak. I see this game hanging on a thread at 2-0. It's almost about to break and finish off at 2-0. But then again, really, I'm not really counting them out. Haven has to be their place where they can probably pull off some upset. It's going to be difficult. It certainly is going to be difficult because you look at it, Velocity, they're starting a defense, which basically means that they can stack up rounds on their side. For sure, Haven is a map which is on paper attacking sided, but then we have seen teams dominate on the side of defense as well. So Velocity Gaming, if they get that early advantage, if they put up that 9-3 or even greater scoreline on board, I'm not really sure if Weird Esports will have the mental endurance to kind of take that pain and probably come back next time, next half.
Yeah, but I really want to see a tough fight here. As we move to the agent selection screen, I really hope that Weird Esports give Velocity, again, a run for their money, because I love watching teams like these come up out of nowhere and challenge the big ones and, just topple them over from their kingdom, the throne that they're sitting on. And right now, Velocity are comfortably be choosing their picks. They've got Deathmaker on Jet, as you would expect, with Boris playing today instead of Amaterasu. So I guess that we should give him the spotlight.
Yeah.
Right to Ace is with his Sova, as you would expect. Marzel is actually playing the Cypher instead of the Killjoy, which he usually goes for. Okay, this is interesting. Velocity are shaking things up a bit, and that could be a bit of a I want to say weird esport advantage, which I think they should bank upon, because even though Velocity changed their lineup a bit, I don't think it's gonna hamper the way that they play completely. LF is gonna be locking in that Astra, so that's gonna complete their lineup. But it is a double initiator against a double duelist setup here, Salty. You can see there is a Phoenix in the hands of Smoka. So this is getting a lot more interesting than I would expect. All right. We got a matchup on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Marzo playing the Cypher, Vipors on the server instead of Amaterasu. We've got a Phoenix and a Jet on the opponent side. How are things going to turn out?
Exactly. Smoker is playing on the side of Weird Esports as well, and it's interesting that we still have a double duelist composition. But on the side of Haven, I feel like this can still work, especially with Phoenix having those nice flashes. The curveballs can really cause damage, especially through smoke. So they can create an opening, especially when Weird Esports is on the attacking side of things. But I feel the changes make sense, Universe. The changes on the side of Velocity Gaming, it does make a lot of sense because you can understand that they're trying to shift things up. They're trying to cause some what would I say? They're trying to play all their agents. They're trying to play different characters. They're trying to experiment themselves as much as possible. And I mean, it's a good thing, right? It's a good thing to try and test all your players that are there on the bench as well. And before coming in, pretty sure he will put up a strong performance.
Indeed. He's not played for a bit, and for him to come back is something that I always look forward to. He's a great talent. His aim is just as crispy as anybody else. He's such a versatile player himself. Plays the sentinel role, plays the controller role, plays even the initiator role as he is right now, playing the Sky. And let's have a look at how exactly he's going to be making a difference, because there is going to be a huge point of talking about him being able to try and maneuver, those flashes to help not just himself but also Deathmaker, who is probably going to be playing doubling up with him. Usually they do it towards the ace site, and yeah, it's going to be interesting indeed, Salty. But for the moment, we're going to be heading into the game pretty soon. Now you can see all the players are locked and loaded in. Everybody is ready. And I just, honestly, I have no expectations as such. I just think that the one thing that we can expect is if Velocity, find a straight up, lead, I think maybe of 3 rounds, 4 rounds up in the beginning. I think that's probably going to get to set the pace of the game already. But if Weird Esports find the pistol, then I think we have a difficult first half for Velocity on our hands.
Mm-hmm. Weird Esports. It's going to be difficult for them, especially with the double duelist composition. I'm not really sure how that works, especially on different occasions. Like it's not really that versatile, to be honest, according to me. Does work on certain sites, does work on certain situations, especially with the Phoenix flashes. But I can see the ultimate doing a lot of work for Phoenix as well. But apart from that, nothing really. The Blaze Wall as well as a Molotov can for sure heal you up. But yeah, like just like you mentioned, like a Sky could have done much more. The flashes as well as some information, heal up your teammates and stabilize the team. Velocity Gaming look a more rounded unit right from the start, but I really want to see what Weird Esports have in plan. When you pick up Haven, you always try and imagine what your first plan of action is going to be on the map of on attack. I really want to see what their set piece execute looks like, and it looks like all these players, they're steamrolling their way into the C side. There are Astra Stars deployed, and there are 2 players who are trying to guard this side. It's going to be interesting. The recon goes in, Padla will try and dash into the smoke. It's going to be a 1v1 in the back of side. Helef already tagged quite a lot. The shot that's come through Smoker, and Rio making nice. 2 players down already. It's a 5v3, and they've blocked off the entry already right to Ace, taking a little bit of heat from that Molotov, and Smoker is already in post-plant situations. Weird Esports, this is fast. This is nice. Are they going on a backstab already? Vibor in garages. He will probably not know that there are players coming in from behind. They will try and pop up from CT as well. Shock that's coming through. No lineups. Vibor trying to check all the angles. 2 players coming in from garage. Vibor will take down Smoker. And there's another one. Deadly 10 will one tap another guy. It's a 1v3 right now, Universe.
1v4, actually.
1v4,
yeah, but I don't think Deathmaker's probably gonna make it 1v3, because Deadly's gonna swing out and he's gonna be taking him out. Deadly, who by the way is playing the Cypher in this game, so he's got a lot more of a passive role, and they've got Smoke in the lineup, so he's gonna be taking him that duelist role. I'm not quite sure what exactly Weird Esports are looking for in the way that they've turned out their composition. Maybe they've got some practice going on the map of Haven, that with Deadly playing on that Cypher, that, a more, grounded to the site kind of role. And I don't know how that works out for him, because I feel like he's more of an explosive player, right? So I think that Deadly, his best potential comes out when he's probably playing that initiator, or maybe he's playing that duelist role as a secondary duelist who plays around with the team. But right now he's going to be playing that Cypher, and we're just going to have to wait and see how exactly he succeeds in that. But for this round, I don't think Velocity are going to be succeeding, Salty, are they? Because this eco, well, I don't see this going their way, because the C side is already open.
Nice bit of information. They try and fake towards the A side of Velocity. Since they are really weak in terms of weaponry, they had to kind of put all their money on one side. They try and stack up the A side, but the C side has been left completely open. They've got an opening. Deadly Chain taking a lot of damage. Pixel's coming in to save him. He will take one player down. He's going to take two players down. Marcel and Hell F. Smoker is already there on the backstab. Beautiful positioning. Smoker is going to put the final lane in Cuff and Velocity Gaming. They're packing bags already, but 2-0 is... Yep, sometimes used to be known as a good omen for Velocity Gaming. They always start at 2-0 and then put up rounds and pod. When the full buy comes in from Velocity Gaming, it's gonna be tough for Weird Esports. But I'm really impressed by their fast-paced aggression and the fast execution, being really quick in terms of thinking. Their A fake and C push was nice, like it was split second, and they transfer themselves, all 5 players, from the A side to the C side. This is good stuff. This is a good start for them, and they look positive. But Velocity Gaming with their big guns, it's going to be a bit difficult for Weird Esports from this point on.
Yeah, but it is a good decision to go towards B.
Wow.
It's a lot smaller, it's a lot easier, but Vibor comes in, and he's going to make life so much harder for them. Deathmaker comes on the flank, and he's going to find one, and he's spraying down through the smoke, looking to see if he can find more. He swings wide onto Pixel's head, but Pixel's is just on a better angle right now. So he's going to be upgrading to that Oni Phantom, but the spike's already been given away. The utility has been dumped in, and Weird Esports, they got dismantled in a matter of seconds because Vibor, I mean, the amount of confidence on that guy to just run out of that smoke, peek out, and get those frags was brilliant, right? I mean, how often do you see that happen?
Well, I like this from Weird Esports, honestly. They try and abandon the B entrance, and they try and backstab them. And Velocity aren't expecting this. They aren't really expecting them coming in from the backstab. Vibor is not checking the angle, Pixels. He's gonna pop up through the smoke. He's gonna find both of them.
Oh, that's so...
Weird Esports. They played it to perfection. I feel like they played it to perfection, but then Vibor happened. A quad kill for this man with a Dragon Vandal. People call it the Elder Flame Vandal because it's named that way, but VLT, what a comeback it has been. 2-1 the scorecard, but the B site was under lockdown by this guy. Sometimes he does play the Sentinel, and now he is doing the work of a Sentinel. The B side is closed for today, ladies and gentlemen. Try and experiment the A and the C side, because you try and go to this B side, Vibor is going to take you down. 4K for him. Yeah,
Vibor, as soon as he pops up on the server, he's going to be having a great time, and it looks like it's going to be the pace of the game. But for now, it's up to Smoker to decide the pace of this round as he's running in with the run it back. Wow. And he's going to find a beautiful kill. Badlaw finds one more Zilla before. He shuts down one. He's going to get another. No, he is not. 4v2 just turned around on its face on the other side this time. As Right to Waste moves in, finds a kill, and he's probably gonna get another here, and he will. Right to Waste is being right to clutch right now, and he's given Deathmaker an opportunity to pull it out in a 1v1, but Deathmaker eats a bullet straight to the head, and he eats another one as well. Deadly is giving free fires, and Deathmaker walks straight into that free fire and gives up his life. I don't really know why Deathmaker would go for that. But I think he should have just waited and maybe, you know, played around time with Deadly. But unfortunately, he just gave away his life, and that's going to be the end of that. But honestly, Right to Ace almost pulled this one back, but Bora did a great job as well. Trying to stop the Phoenix, and then he even got Bad Love, one of the danger men on that team of Weird Esports. And as a result, Weird Esports have number 3. As Hellf now sees a really fast C push coming in with only a Sheriff, though. There's nothing much he can do.
Bad Luck checking in Hana's. Vibor. Flash doesn't really do a lot of work. Bad Luck completely shuts down Hellf. Vibor is gonna down as well. Pixels doing good work. They have the side for themselves, but Right to Ace is still alive. We know that he pulled off some amazing plays in the last time, but Right to Ace is gonna finally go down. The Jet dancing. Badler finding his 3K. Marcel with a Sheriff. This always was gonna go down in the side of Weird Esports because that was an eco round for them. Marcel, will he try and pull off one kill for himself? Yes, he does. Rio is tunnel ready. He'll try and drop as many guns as possible, but Deadly 10 on the backstab is gonna find Marcel. Weird Esports, a 4-1 for them, and Velocity Gaming, they're struggling right now. But honestly, Universe, that was full house when we saw Deadly 10 versus Deathmaker, 2 MVP standing players going face to face in a 1v1 situation, and Deadly 10 just one-tapping Deathmaker over there. You mentioned it, right? That was a pre-fire and Deathmaker just walked into it, but that was it, right? That was Deadly 10 challenging arguably one of the best players in the country to take a 1v1 fight to him. He wasn't playing time, he wasn't doing anything else. He was just trying to intimidate Deathmaker as much as possible, and Deathmaker just fell into the trap. This speaks volumes of the mindset that young players come in with. Like, they know they have the potential, they know they've got the aim game, and they know they've got the game that can really challenge the teams that are at the top. You might have been experienced, you might have played this game forever, but then the young generation that's coming in, they are capable of probably toppling the competition as well, and that's what they did. Weird Esports 4-1. Who expected this? All right, ladies and gentlemen, 4-1. It's gonna be interesting, honestly. Right to Ace putting up, I believe, recon dart really early. Now, Deathmaker with the op has invested big. They tried and went for the eco round last time around, but Bad Love has one of his own. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting, Universe. I really want to see this op showdown. The first shot connected. Nobody. Both of them miss. Both of them shoot in midair, but both of them shoot in thin air. But yeah, the drone comes and it's going to be an exchange of information. But look at this. So the spike is on the seaside and it's not where the action is happening. So it's interesting what Weird Esports is trying to pull off. I feel like they are selling a very convincing fake. At this point, there's a one-man, or rather a two-man defense on the seaside. So Velocity Gaming know this as well. It's going to be an even contest from this point on.
Well, it should be, because the seaside has given them a little bit of success. And here they go straight in. And Hella's eating a lot of damage. Before it comes out, though, and he gets one, Badla's gonna find one in return. Rio adds onto it, but Right to Waste with his own Hunter's Fury is gonna get one. Mars, though, comes to the rescue for WLT, and now they know that they've got the spike. They've got two players towards C-Long, and they've all huddled up over here. And Deathmaker is just gonna add on to the miseries of Rio Esports, but Rio, it's up to him now. 2 versus 1. Deathmaker, he's gonna take out another one, but Right to Waste finds the better pattern of spray. The Vandal not always reliable when it comes down to spraying down an enemy, but it's gonna be Velocity to put up number 2, as they have had a little bit of a slump early on. 4-2. You know, the last time they played Haven as well, they had a little bit of a difficult time. And it really got a bit of a, question mark in front of their faces, thinking that, is Haven really a map that we can play like this? Their composition, the way that they play around. And it's really interesting, though, because the way that they play around with this composition when the Amaterasu in the mix is different, because they probably have that breach coming in. Well, the way they play with the Vapor in it is probably going to be obviously different, because he plays the Sky better. And Deathmaker, well, he's going to be playing that spearhead role for his team as he takes out one already. And Weird Esports' immediate reaction is trying to find some ground towards Garage. Deathmaker has been silenced for a bit with that smoke popping off in front of him, as Weird Esports are looking a little bit flustered at the moment. They're not quite sure where they want to end up, but Velocity have an idea. Both Helif and Marzel are stacked up towards Garage. Vapor is here to help him out, but Deadly, what a beautiful shot from him. Picks up the Operator as a Cypher. Not a sight you see every single day. He's going to find success. All right, to Ace. Right to Ace, this is your game, my man. He sees 1, he sees 2, he sees 3, he's gonna get 2 hits, a third, yes it is gonna be him. Right to Clutch comes off, ladies and gentlemen, and it is gonna be Velocity with a third, as Right to waste gets a 4K, and the trigger discipline does wonders.
The trigger discipline did do well over there, but it was just his aim game. You look how wonderfully he isolates all those players, and just the precise aiming over there. He's probably the player when Valorant meant precise gameplay to define this game. Right to waste was probably the player that it meant over there. Look at this. Wonderful stuff. Lets the first player pass away. No disturbance to pixels. Just waits for the Sova to pop in. Oh, nice shot. The Phoenix is going to come out. Now, all of them gave him 1v1 duels. Nobody trying to double it up. And that's probably the reason for the downfall.
Yeah. Look at this early garage aggression. Immediately shut down by Marzel, as you would expect. And just like that, Weird Esports' plan of going towards a split C is going to be splitting into nothing. Another player falls, another round for Velocity. Vibora is going to go down, so there is one casualty. That's going to harm Velocity a little bit, but their economy is looking just as strong as anything at this point. I left looking for cleanup duty. But Salty, I just want to ask you this, right? It's 4-4 now, and how do you see this first half going? Velocity now have won 3 rounds in a row, right? And they've got economy. They've just showed that, you know, their dominance is not going away. At their best, they can absolutely terrify and terrorize this side of Weird Esports. But how do you see this first half going? Do we see a 8-4 half come in for any of the side now, you know, in the most extreme circumstance? Or is it probably going to be 7-5 or 6-6?
There's a very slight chance, honestly, for this to going to steamroll towards 8-4. Not really sure. Velocity Gaming, they are back on time. They are back in form. Pardon me for that. But Weird Esports, for them, they've been doing good. They've been doing good on attack. So it's really hard to pitch an 8-4. A 6-6 is probably the best bet for me right now. Velocity Gaming, if they pick up form and if they pick up the game really well from this point, 7-5 will be a maximum that you know, I can predict.
I guess you are right. Usually, when you expect these kind of score lines, you know, 8-4, 9-3, you would expect a team to be dominating. But here, it is going side by side for Velocity and Weird Esports. They're having a bit of a... they're settling into it. They're having fun, Velocity. You can see Marzel's just laughing around. And... the thing about it when you're playing, you know, in a team like Velocity is that there's a lot of pressure for you to perform, but at the same time, it's almost like you have no pressure. You get what I mean? You know, it's like you're in this state of total imbalance at times as well, and it gets. I mean, you don't really know what exactly they're feeling, but it's definitely getting interesting towards the seaside right now. The board's gonna get some information as that a lot of bullets, and the flash is gonna pop off to give him some. Right to him. Spots out 1, spots out 2 actually. Eats a couple of bullets and has to run all the way back. He knows he can't take this fight head on as Bad Love dashes straight in, and the A side has been given up for retake.
For sure, but Marzel has to do something real quick because otherwise Velocity Gaming is going to be really late for them. Right to Ace. How does he pinpoint that one? He knows exactly what they're planning. It's not a default planning. He knows that exactly. The stabilization comes in as well. The Astral Divide, a lot of utility dumped in. Jetmaker tries to make an entry. A lot of these players tag. Jetmaker finds the first one, the second one as well. With the flash, Weird Esports, they make a comeback. The Opsings, Helef makes another one. It's a 1v2. Velocity Gaming. It's not easy. The Phantom, he dinks.
Oh no.
He dinks Bad Love, but Bad Love survives their Phantom. Why do you have a 140 headshot? That's probably what Helef's saying right now, but he couldn't really do anything over there. Weird Esports played it to perfection. That entry into side was all that they needed. I love the switch from the C side to the A side once again. You see, Weird Esports, their rotations have been split second fast. The utility usage was perfect as well. They didn't really deploy the Astral Divide. I mean, it was Velocity Gaming who deployed the Astral Divide, trying to prevent players from going into post-plant positions outside of side. But that doesn't really do any work because a flash comes through. There is tag players. They are in positions where they can trade, and we start things off with the Deathmaker op shot.
That was a really impressive round from Weird. You know, I really think that Helef would have wanted his hands to go on a Vandal instead of a Phantom right there in that round for that clutch with that dink. That 140 is always a pain, but Bad Love, he mistimes his own comeback, and he's gonna get punished for his retreat. But look at right to ace. Oh boy. Circling around these players, he knows exactly where they are. He's gonna get one hit, and he immediately goes back towards window. He does not know where Pixels is, and that could be a problem. His recon's not gonna reveal him either. So Pixels could probably get away with
the right
one kill. Wow, okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. He knows. The 200, I mean, just as good as anybody's brain is, right to ace. He's called the Sova main of India for a reason. So
for sure, but we are en route to the 7-5 scoreline that I think it was going to happen. Now, Velocity Gaming with this win, I believe Weird Esports will be in a bit of a soup, especially with their guns. I'm not really sure if they have their full buy, but they have 4 ultimates to work with. The Phoenix ultimate, really useful. They have the Astral Divide as well. They've got the Hunter's Fury as well as the Neural Theft. A really nice equipped round can give them the 6th as well, and if Team Weird Esports make it 6-6, it will really be nice. A really high-stake action with the flash and peek. He takes down one player, but Deathmaker couldn't really find the first frag. Badlap is still out there. He has got the knives equipped. Now, it's going to be a risky move, but I understand what he's trying to do. He's trying to cause a diversion for the team when the rest of the players can make a move, but the flash and the peek for Vibor has been causing problems for Weird Esports time and time again, and right to ace is pushed up right now. They're trying to hit the A side Weird Esports, but right to ace has an idea. He's going to creep right behind them. And if that happens, Weird Esports won't have an idea. They need to invest in the ultimates really nicely, because otherwise there's basically no chance. A 4v5, a push onto Marzel all by himself. He spots down one player. He knows exactly what's happening. Try and deploy the smokes nicely. LF taking the first shot. Marzel in the back lines. He's going to find LF as well. Through the smoke, he's going to find everybody. The spray transfer was immaculate. And Marzel, perfectionist. Perfectionist incarnate, and 6th round for Velocity Gaming. Weird Esports tried to work out a lot of things, but just couldn't cross the finishing line.
Yep, 6-5, a well-executed round from Velocity. Marzel with that spray down, put down the nut and bolt for them to at least finish this game. Finish this half 6-6. So that it either goes to ground zero or in their favor. And Deathmaker, he goes for an aggressive peek, but that camera and smoke from the jet is gonna make him go all the way back. Every single ultimate looking like it wants to be deployed and right to ace. He's running straight in for that backstab, and he looks like he could find it. He comes out of the smoke. He is gonna find one, but the B side has already taken too much attraction. Marzel's holding down the site, but he's not gonna be able to find 2 angles at once. Deathmaker finds Rio, and look at the amount of trades going back and forth. Velocity are still in control, by the way, as Weird Esports have found the B side, but they take that avenue to funnel themselves into the A, where they've got players coming in from every single direction they can think of. Right to ace is stuck towards that A short position. Bad Love's on Heaven, so he's going to be facing up before, and he's going to take him down. Oh boy, this is going to be a problem. 3 versus 3. Deathmaker goes straight down. 1 bullet was all Bad Love needed, and he delivers it straight to his head. As right to ace with his recon is going to make... No! Helef, what did you do? No, 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 no. Oh, that is so unfortunate.
Deadly 10 though. His cam is gone. Okay, his cam is back, but I mean, look at that round. Look at the way this team makes a comeback. Bad Love was present. I thought that he's gonna lose the fight against Vibor itself on Heaven, but he didn't. He did win that fight again. He did win the duel. Yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about. I thought that he's gonna struggle against Vibor, but now he converts that kill. Deathmaker was flying high, and he slaps him right in the forehead. Now, he's got a 3Q already and he's done his job. Helef could have really made a comeback, right to ace, and his shock darts in the final third of the game, they are a real nuisance for the other team, and they could have caused problems, and he could have clutched out the round, but he needed support from Helef from the other side. He was coming in from CD, he could have created an opening, a diversion, it could be a 1v2, but now the entire plan failed. But Helef, he has done well so far, so I guess I'm gonna give it that. 6-6, a score line which is even Stevens. Now, Weird Esports, they've been giving a fight against Velocity Gaming, something which not a lot of people predicted, but this is supposed to be a new... This is supposed to be a new half. Deathmaker opens it up with Spoka. Here comes a shock dart, a lot of damage dealt, especially the Sky. Unfortunately, Vibor can't heal himself, but he can resurrect or restabilize the rest of the team. Another shot that comes in, but Velocity, they've been pushed back a little. The plans are different. They're trying to hit sewers right now. Marzel is there in the opening. The bird has been destroyed. Deathmaker makes an entry in the side.
Here we go. Marza finds Rio, so that's going to be the ace set completely busted open. Pixels has absolutely no clue that somebody's going to be holding down that angle. It's going to be a beautiful run from Velocity, but one casualty. That is Marza pushing up towards the defender side spot. Not going to be a problem, though, as in a 1v4. Okay, deadly. His aim is looking deadly right now. No! Velocity, you can't be giving this up like this. There is a backstab coming in, so that is a good thing. And thankfully, Helef is going to be able to shut it down because Vapor, he was down low. And if Deadly would have gotten the kill on him, I think this round could have been turned around. But mistakes like that, giving a 1v1 to a player you know could cause damage,
I should probably play
choice. Marzo was trying to push up and probably shut down the round immediately, but after that, Deathmaker bops his head, gives it away right to ace, gives his head away. 1v1 is something that you really shouldn't be doing as a team, you know, when you know that the opponent is having a really good day.
I mean, it's actually hard to try and stop VLT when they're trying to enter a site like a truck, right? They can hit you like a truck without you even understanding what's happening. Shot darts come through. Deathmaker with the Spectre trying to make an opening. 4 pairs stacked in. They're waiting for this man to pop off.
Okay.
Right click comes in. Deadly 10 gets the first kill, but 3 players have been down already, and Weird Esports are in a soup right now. Right to ace is gonna find another one. There's only one player who is still alive, and that's Bad Love, who was away from all these happening. He does have the sheriff to work with. He's gonna pop the head off of Helef. For sure. Same expression. Ouch. Looking for backstabs. Good decision over there. A 1v3 once again will try and weaken the economy. Will try and weaken. Okay, interesting stuff. He's actually saving the Guardian away.
They're letting him. I'm not quite sure they want him to save this. They pretty sure want to kill the board, waiting for the flash to pop off from his hands, but he's gonna peek out without anything. He believes in himself, and his belief is gonna translate as a third kill.
He knows exactly.
Yeah.
They retrieve the Guardian. They're like, this is my favorite weapon, and I want this. They saved a lot of money though. They saved $2,500 by finding the retrieved weapon, but good stuff from Bad Love. Actually, he had the right thinking, trying to make them spend even more. But VLT right now, they are still on their bonus round. They have the Spectres to work with. They have 1 Vandal and a full shield. That's going to be on Deathmaker. Helef is going to be on a pistol, but rest of Weird Esports, they are really nice. They're cozy with all the guns. The defense looks interesting. There's 3 players in garage and B territory. The right to ace drone is not going to spot anybody. The flash is going to come through as well, and the players, they try and move in. Bad Love, he is in position already. He finds Deathmaker, the only player who had a Vandal, and here comes the Tiger. Not a lot of information exchange. Bad Love still is in check. He's going to find a lot of kills. Will he? No, wait, what? Smoker, he finds 2 of his own. Vibor is going to make it 2 back. Deadly 10 comes through as well. Helef with retrieved Spectre 1v3 for him. He's been completely blocked out of sight. He will try and cause a diversion, but at this point, with the spike under control and with only 1 player up against 3, Weird Esports are more likely to cross the finishing line on this one.
Yeah, they most certainly are. Helef's also been spotted out in garage now, so it's gonna be a 7th round confirmed at least. I want to say 99% just because I don't want to give Helef, you know, a side slacking of what we all know his capability actually is. He wants to take these individual fights, and okay, that's 1. 1v2. 9 bullets in the barrel right now. Might want to reload right about now. And he will. Smoke's gonna allow him to creep into the side a little, but Smoke is holding down the angle. Votes him, dinks him as well. Gets the kill, runs away. Helif's actually making this work. And somehow, Weird Esports are getting thrown off into their own faces. The plan's definitely gonna go down. And Helif has a fighting chance.
But Deadly 10, this man has changed fortunes for this team, and honestly, Helef, does he have an idea where this man is gonna pop off?
Oh my god,
gonna be
okay.
a clutch. Wait, what? Helef, you beauty.
This is exactly why I said 99% should have been their round, but that 1% is Helef being his absolute bloody best. And that's exactly what I got to see. He played that so patiently, calm, collected. That is the true remark of a esports player, a pro player who knows that he can pull off rounds on his own. His entire team fell down, but they did their work of getting down at least 2 players before they win. What a round from Helef.
For sure, and now Weird Esports, they are on the back foot. They are on equal, playing all with Sheriffs. One player is being tagged. Deathmaker is gonna walk right behind the Ultron to try and make something happen. He's gonna find Bad Luck, but Pixels, wait, what? A collat? Over there? Sheriff! This man just converts 2 kills. A flash comes through as well, but Helef still finds a frag. This man is insane. A clutch in the last round.
Really? Okay.
Through the smoke,
Really?
a triple in this round. This man has gone insane. Like, wait, Helef, just calm down. Just calm down, okay? Wait, Esports. I'm not really sure how that worked.
Confidence boost.
He just went through the smoke. He was like, wait, what? I'm just gonna click a random bullet and he finds a frag.
Exactly. That's just, of course. Rio, though, I'm not quite sure why he would want to waste his utility there when he knows this round is not gonna go his way, but that is a reinvestment that he's gonna have to do.
Pretty big one.
Yeah, he could have just died. He could have just, gone for probably an exit frag and then given away his life to the spike, but the drone right now is probably a little more expensive than we usually have known it to be, right? From the way back when it got its nerf. Sova, his utility has been expensive, and it's not really every day you can afford it if you don't really have the, the economy for it. Using it in a round where you know is gonna wield no value is a problem, but right now Smoka's looking to wield his value. He finds one and actually finds ahead of Marcel as well, and Marcel, no heal for him, as the Pixels is pushed up as well, and look at the amount of bullets being sprayed down across that mid-region box. Adlov's pushed up, and this amazing aggressive tactic from Weird Esports is gonna give them probably their round number 7 here.
Helef will be thrown off. Marzel as well as Right to A still surviving this onslaught. Weird Esports have been very unpredictable. They've got Velocity off guard, especially with their fast-paced push. Smoker pushing up Garage. Pixels as well as Bad Luck. Bad Luck pushes up and he does not stop. He stops in a window where there was no one checking him through the smoke. This man was playing, I don't know, Omen? But yeah, nonetheless, Marzel and Right to Ace, they still have the potential to kind of bring it back, but Marzel, especially with the dink on his head from Smoker, it's going to cause a lot of problems for them. 5v2 still yet to find an opening. Right to Ace does have the drone as well as the arrow that shoots sonar radiation. Marzel is going to find nothing. Pixels will take him down. Right to Ace first back from a second one. Here comes a recon. He will try and go for the plan, gives him some extra cash to work with. There are players in Garage who are trying to backstab him. Reloads his chamber. Pixels yet to make an advancement. 1v3 right now. Right to Ace. We know this man can pull off an ace plus. Trying to be a little aggressive. Tries to take the first shot. Gets another one. He gets Bad Luck. A triple kill for him, but Deadly 10 was just too much for him. It was more of a 2v1 situation where Weird Esports, they always had the odds stacked in their favor, but Velocity Gaming, what a round for them. Right to Ace. He caused a lot of economic death, even though Weird Esports did get their 7th round. I'm pretty sure the economy is going to suffer from this point, and they might have to reinvest in some sheriffs.
Indeed. They definitely have to look at their economy and be a little careful. Velocity, you know, the thing about the second half run to round number 10 has been a little bit more comfortable. So they have a full buy, and it looks like their next round could even be a half buy of sorts, given their economy. And Weird Esports are the ones who are going to have to be a little bit more careful, I believe, because Badlove's still on that half armor, and their economy is shredded across places. It's just a little bit more difficult for them. Mocha has taken up a really aggressive position towards A, so that's a lot of map control for them. The velocity is okay to give away. We usually know that they're fine with it. Marzel's camera is actually a really interesting angle. Probably expects nobody to check it, and he's holding down the A side all by himself as Velocity are actually preparing to go for this A side execute. Okay, Salty, a dirty fight coming up over here, my friend, and it's gonna be Mocha to be the first recipient along with Deadly, but those flashes and the kills, oh my god!
Fury, Deadly, 10 Smoke Sports, what was that? What was... I mean, I was, preparing myself to call off some trades and, expecting some nice fight to happen. And then suddenly, just out of nowhere, the Hunter's Fury comes in, the Smoke comes in, Deadly 10, Smoke, all of these players just absolutely pop. Oh, Esports were like, no, stop right there. You're not welcome today. The shop is closed. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow. Like, what? That was nice. That was a nice round. Velocity, they will be thinking something different at this point. They are like, all right, enough of this slow-paced aggression. I know we can take these guys with our fast-paced ones. Marzel, try and create a diversion in mid. He will aggress a little bit towards the B side, but the spike is not there. The spike is going towards the A side. Now, they have got defenses. The read from Weird Esports is nice as well. Vibor, if he kind of tends to be a little too over-aggressive, he can get some results, and yes, he does. He gets pixels, try and check angles. Rio's gonna find one right here. It's gonna take him down. It's a 2 for 2. Velocity Gaming versus Weird Esports. It's still 3v3 right now. Deadly is gonna find Marcel. That flank was immaculate. 2v3 right now. Velocity Gaming, both the players will be spotted. Hell with the Sheriff, especially the recon that pushes back Deadly 10, but he's in a position where it only matters. The C side, where it was left completely open. Bad Luck has pushed up, but right to Ace is gonna find a frag with the Sheriff. And now he's gonna pick up a retrieved weapon. This can change fortunes. Right to Ace with a Vandal as well as a Hunter's Fury. He can convert this round. Weird Esports have been good, but they really need to convert this. An Astral Divide comes through, and they're trying to hit the B side with this low one. Of course, the defense has to be really split. The spike for sure is going to go down, but will they be able to defend it? That's the question, Universe.
Not quite sure. Right to Ace is down low to 45 HP, so Velocity have a difference of HP that probably is going to work against them. What they don't know is that Smoka's actually coming on the flank, and he could be a dangerous man here. Unless Right to Ace finds this kill, he's not going to. And now Helaf has an idea about one player, but he has no clue where Smoka's coming from. He knows that he plays towards A, and he's just going to be sticking to this angle right here.
Do they have some utility? Do they have some utility to make it work?
Helaf?
Smoker?
One enemy
Oh boy, another clutch. Is it going to come out? Helaf is playing the mind games.
No.
What? Oh my god.
7 HP. 7 HP for Spoke.
Sad. I really thought Helaf actually killed him there. But Smoka, he had his knife out, he has his diffuser out, and then he had his gun out, and he still killed Helaf. So, I mean,
I skipped a beat for a second.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened there, because the one thing that you would expect, in that round, Right to Ace went down towards middle, was probably, I don't think they expected a flank from A. Even though they did not see it coming, Helaf expected it in the end. But that round, I actually believe that should have gone towards the way of Velocity, but Bad Love, dangerous areas, my friend. Sharks are deep in these waters, and they're looking to try and figure out every single direction that you can smell blood in.
This is an opening. Jetnik will try and dash him, and here comes the tripwire. He's been completely stopped in his track. No. Here comes all of Weird Esports, and we know they can close down the shop. The office singing. Marvelous is one push through. Bad Luck is gonna fall back. Wait, what is happening? Weird Esports. They are still holding the fort right now. The ship is still sailing. The smoke preventing the sky from going down. Marcel not aggressing any further. He knows the A side defense is really nice. They're trying to fall back and trying to hit the C side as well. Now, this is good stuff from Weird Esports. They're not letting Velocity just walk away with their game. The Haven has been pretty strong, but 10-9 the scoreline, it can go either team's favor at this point. Trying to hit the C side, but there is nobody. I'm not really sure if they have the utility to
30
try and get
seconds
some more
left.
information. They don't really have a lot of time to get more information. 30 seconds on the clock. They need to plant the spike and get to both on positions. But here it comes. The ultimate has been taken down, but Bandam is going to find a frag. Jetmaker will be isolated and exterminated with Yop. Here comes Helef on the backstab, but the spec flares come in from Garage. The spade connects. He gets Mocha, but Rio is going to take him down through the woodworks. Marcel is there as well. It's a 3v4 right now. Weird Esports trying to make this work, and they for sure have the manpower to do so. Weird just holding their ground. Here comes the Astral Divide, completely taking away Vibor out of the equation. Right to Ace's position will be spotted. 46 HP to work with, and one player is already on the backstab. Nero that comes through. All of Weird Esports and their positions will be visible. Pixel walks in. Right to Ace finds frag. Fast finds another one. 2v2 right now. Here comes the sonar, but the spike will be defused.
that is...
Rio is gonna find 3k. What an eventful round, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, every round so far has kind of been eventful for these folks. I don't know how the hell Weird Esports are doing this, but they've pulled back such a great comeback in the second half. 10-7, they were down, and they've pulled it back 10-10 now. That's no easy feat, especially against a team like Velocity. Sucked the defuse, held down the corner, right to waste. The most he could have done was get one kill. That's all he found. Now, it is up to Velocity Gaming to try and figure out how exactly they can work this around. Because the one thing that you need to consider is that if Weird Esports find this lead, it's going to be really difficult because Velocity's economy is down below in shambles. Vibor is going to be forced to play with half armor. Marzel and Right Choice can buy in. They have about 4,000 creds minimum each, but I'm not quite sure. If they lose this round, it could be game over.
Might be. It might be. I mean, we do have a look at their economy, Velocity Gaming. They've got weapons for one last round, and that's going to be it. Like, this is their gamble. This is all that they have in Weird Esports. Who would have thought that this team would drag Velocity in such a corner? Deathmaker to try and go for a quick execute, but then the gravity well was like, no, stop there once again. Weird Esports, they've pulled off such things time and time again. They're predicting a C hit, but the drone is not going to push them back. As of now, VLT trying to pull off a really fast execute. I'm not really sure if Ryu is prepared for this. He does have backup, and backup is coming in. Deathmaker will be completely eliminated over there. They're yet to make an entry. Weird Esports, a nice spot through the smoke. All the spray connects, the shot that connects, and they make it work somehow. Helef is the last one standing, a 1v5 clutch. Not really happening this time. I don't really think so. This is unbelievable. If this happens right now, I would have nothing to say.
They didn't even see the face of the ace side. Deathmaker was sent in alone. No backup for him.
Neither did Weird Esports see Velocity's face as well. All the kills happen through smoke, shot darts, and sprays connecting.
The one thing I did not understand, they sent Deathmaker straight in, right, from A main. He's the only one, by the way, who came in. And there was a follow-up of Right to Waste, but he came in so late because he was trying to play with his utility. So sending Deathmaker alone and, wanting him to get a kill is one thing, but you need to support him to try and find those avenues to try and make it work together as a team. Because you're just going to lose out players one by one to 3 players, maybe 4 on the side. And as a result, Weird Esports have got the lead for the immaculate moment that they would want to have. 11-10, and Velocity are gonna have to play this really, really smart. Deathmaker's the only one with a weapon that can make a difference, and he almost lost it as well. Sheriffs, half armors, a Spectre, and a Vandal. not too much utility either to work with. What do you got in store for us, Velocity? Because this really looks like a match point for Weird.
You know, last round was the real
My eyes are
opening where
dumb.
utility just played a part over there. VLT, they had no flash. They really had no information on how to kind of execute the side execute. They have a little bit of ground though. Weird Esports, still no idea that any execute has happened already. A smoke comes in. The Cypher is tucked in one corner inside Heavens. And what's coming in, Rio, with an ultimate. He gets
boy.
all right to ace. Deadly 10 takes on Marzel as well. 2 players down already. It's a 3v5. 10. Try and take a peek. One
player
faker.
standing.
Taps Helef as well.
No,
and he
no.
finds a quad K. This man is not on the MVP standings for no reason. He's having a field day on the map of Haven, and Velocity Gaming, they're struggling. They for sure are struggling, and Veeries will make it to match point. And at this point, if they continue this run of form, it wouldn't be far away when they take away a map away from Velocity Gaming.
Yeah, that is true. We're on the cusp of it, ladies and gentlemen. We're watching it happen yet again, by the way. This is sort of how FS kind of pulled off their map against Velocity. My word, it looks like it's going to be history repeating itself, but this time by the hands of Weird Esports. There is a huge stack of players on the C side for Velocity. It looks like, for Weird. And it looks like they are going to be pushing in this angle. As Velocity are stacked up towards A. Small little pause has come in. Unfortunately, Pixels has lagged out of the server. He has a disconnection problem. But Velocity are probably going to take this time to try and think how they can outsmart the players of Weird Esports, who, quite honestly, have won 6 rounds in a row, by the way. And that is something that against Velocity is going to throw out even as mighty as they come. So Velocity, good time for them to assess what exactly is going to be the situation. Good time for them to think about where exactly they can go. You can see that everybody's talking to each other. Deathmaker is giving out calls. You can see that probably Right to Ace is going to be calling out to his team as well in the absence of Amaterasu. But this is do or die. This is pretty much their map for the taking. Should have been, at least, after they were 10-7 up, but Salty. I mean, I want to know what you think, my guy, because this is definitely, this was not supposed to happen. Yeah, they definitely deserve it. And I mean, where did Velocity go wrong, to be honest?
The absence of Amaterasu? Not really sure. I guess that is what is probably the only probable reason for me. It's not like BO3 didn't play well. It's sometimes that certain combinations, they just stick, right? Velocity Gaming, once again, trying to make an opening. You haven't seen the tactical depth from Velocity Gaming. You haven't seen the fast-paced rotations coming from Velocity Gaming, something which we got to see from Weird Esports as well. So you're pretty sure that Velocity Gaming, the place where they went down was their attack. They were 6-6 on the defensive side of things, so there was no problem over there. Players are still shuffling in, and Vibor is trying to make an A execute happen. Reinforcements have come in, and Rio is all by himself, along with the Cypher Deadly 10. And we know that Deadly 10 has done a lot of work. Rio will be overwhelmed with options, and Deadly 10 will be isolated. Velocity, they still have one more chance to make this work. They have their backs against the wall, but it does not mean that they cannot clutch away the situation. Pixels will try and make an opening as well as Smoker. No ultimates available apart from... I mean, no ultimates available as a whole. They do have the molly. They can force away players from the corner. Flashes come through as well. Pixels trying to... Martin is right behind you. Nonetheless, 3v4 right now. Weird Esports. It's going to be tough for them. Vibor finds bad luck. No backstabs for you. No backstab on your business. Focus through the smoke. And here comes Pixels. He will be taken down 1v3, but Helef is going to put a bullet in the brain. Velocity Gaming 11-12. My heart is literally pumping like a pump at this point because I'm not really sure. Velocity Gaming, the stakes are so high for them. You can see the tension in the air in the boot camp. You can see them trying hard to figure out a decode. hard to figure out an antidote against Weird Esports. It's not going to be easy. Weird Esports, they've been good. Deadly 10 especially. This man has been causing a lot of problems, but I'm not really sure what they can do at this point. The aggression has given them results. The AXQ did give them results this time because they could overwhelm players, and now they're trying to hit the C side. They've pushed back the Cypher, they've pushed back the defense, but the drone isn't really going to do much. The smoke is going to come through. They're going to retrieve the orb, and they're going to find themselves back.
Information has been exchanged on both sides right now. Battle's gonna be aggressing that situation. Information is key in this game, and this pick right here could be. They need to be really careful. That Recon's actually not gonna give away his position.
Yeah.
And Badlove plays that to absolute perfection. That's exactly what Weird Esports needed. That's exactly what they'll get. The first pick goes their way, and now Velocity are in a state of perplex. They've got 3 ultimates to work with, one of which is going to be activated by Valor, as I stated. And here we go towards the C side. Velocity, straight in. Hunter's Fury coming in as well. Flash is being deployed on either side. Hellev comes out on top of one. Deadly is going to be taking down 2 of his own. Rio takes down 1 and is left all alone for right to waste in a 1v3. And he's going to go down. Velocity have yet again been defeated by the underdog.
Bad love, naughty. This man
course.
sends a heart to you guys, ladies and gentlemen. Weird Esports, they're ecstatic at this point. It's not every day you take a map away from Velocity Gaming, but they did so in this game. And for sure, they have reason to celebrate, but well, this could have been a dream if Velocity Gaming could have made a comeback, but nah, it's not happening. Weird Esports, they've been the better team in this game, and they've for sure they deserve every bit of it, Universe. From their attacking side of things to the defense, it really was a good day for them. Not just a good day, but I feel like this team has worked really hard to come in from a place they were, and now they're giving a fight against Velocity Gaming in their full force.
Indeed, they are. It has been a huge comeback in the setup over here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a look at the match highlights to see how exactly it turned out for the side of Weird Esports. What a comeback they've had. 6-6, they ended up the half. They gave such a great fight until the very end, and it had to finish off in the last round. It had to finish 13-11.
It was 10-6 at some point.
Yeah, it was exactly my point in my case in point that 10-6 is a lead that you would really want to, convert into a win as soon as possible. But somehow Velocity kept on dwindling. The confidence dropped.
Yeah.
They went and won the 11th round, but after that, overtime, it looked like it could have come. But with the way that Weird were playing as a team, honestly, what a game of Valorant from them. Textbook Valorant, whatever it is you want to call it. Honestly, Weird Esports at the top of the game, and they simply outmatched the side of Velocity in those last few rounds.
Velocity for sure were not at their best. This wasn't the best display coming in from Velocity on both behalves. They lacked the decision making. They for sure lacked the leader Amaterasu, who of course is again a great player. Weird Esports, they attacked like a unit. Their utilities were focused on letting their agents get into sight and probably create an opening or a diversion. They had backstabs ready. We got to see nothing of that sort from Velocity Gaming. One real interesting thing that I got to see from Weird Esports was that this team, they transfer themselves. They have clear-cut calls, number one, but number two, which is probably the most important thing, is that their rotations are super fast. They get some information, they know that this is not going to happen. There is a distinct call out that, all right, we're getting to B side. There is no hesitation, there is no second thought. This team, I really want to give kudos to the player who is leading the side right now, the coach, whoever it is. Like, they have really got the confidence to make a decision at this point, because sometimes you're always double thinking, should we really hit the C side, or probably we should go to the A side? But this team, they just rotate from one place to the other real quick, both in attack, both in defense. In defense, their reinforcements have come in so quick. You'll see a lot of rounds where Velocity, they were really stopped dead on their tracks. They were trying to create an opening, they were trying to hit the C side, and they fake towards the A side or something like that. there was only one player who was Rio, and then suddenly, all of a sudden, there's Deadly 10 coming through, there's other players coming through, there's Pixels coming through as well, and all of these players, they just overwhelm and overload the side of Velocity Gaming. A reason because of which they just couldn't really convert rounds. Velocity Gaming individually, they've been great, but as a team, didn't really get to see the velocity that we all loved. But nonetheless, Weird Esports, this has been a performance for the ages for them, especially. This is something which they can look up to. This is something which they can always watch back when they are not in form and when they want to rediscover themselves when they hit the rock bottom. But right now, we should enjoy because it's 1-0. Next up is going to be the map of Breeze. And they have a very realistic chance of making it to Bind where they can probably pull it back. I'm not really counting Breeze, to be honest, but if we look at the scorecard, Weird Esports, no surprise over there. Cypher with 26 frags and an ACS of 260. Deadly 10. Do you think it's time he overtakes Deathmaker in the MVP standings?
I mean, it's about, what the second map looks like. Deathmaker, usually in the first map, it's up to him having his good days. I think he's feeling a little better now. He should be a lot better on Breeze than he is or he has been right now on Haven. He's been a little more quiet. Everybody on the side of Velocity has contributed right to race the most, as you can see. But I should believe that we really need to consider the fact that Velocity have their map pick right now, and that is Breeze. So that's going to be a whole different ballgame, ladies and gentlemen. Whether or not it's going to be going all the way to map number 3, I think so. I think we are definitely going to be seeing Bind because Weird Esports, I don't think they're ready for, the Breeze that's going to be coming their way. And we're going to be taking a short break, me and Salty, and you guys should too. Scan the QR code when it pops up to find your Red Bulls, as I'm going to go grab mine from my refrigerator. And we're going to be back in just a bit, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. Velocity are going to be taking on Weird Esports after losing on the first map. Are we going to see Bind? We find out in just a bit.
From the legends of memory and storage, Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products, precision engineered for speed and stability. Crucial Ballistix.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the LG Ultragear TC Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Crucial, and our apparel partners are 656, with our accessories partner being Cosmic Bite. It's going to be your boy Aggressive, replacing Universe. Sadly, he had a little bit of a technical difficulty on his end. He needed to run on off, but hey, it's going to be your boy here, joined by none other than the Salty Boy himself, Salty. And hey, we're going to be heading on down over to the second map after a very questionable win from the side of Weird.
The
None of us
pause.
thought...
The
None of us
pause.
expected this, man. Salty, I was in the chat, I was talking to everyone, and I was watching all of this unfold. Initially, I thought that, okay, there's no way we're gonna win this. Velocity, they are the best. They're the kings of Haven. There's nothing for them to lose there. Then suddenly, I look at the scorecard, and I'm like, wait, Weird won on a 13-11? Am I seeing things correct? Because now we are going to be heading into Breeze, the home map of Velocity, the new home map. And now the pressure is on. Their backs are against the wall, and Weird could just take this set on a 2-0, Salty.
Absolutely. I mean, it's going to be a little difficult though. For Weird Esports. Breeze might not be the most comfortable map. For Velocity, though, they've grinded hard on the map of Breeze, and they've made it their new home turf, just like you mentioned. It's like Elon Musk taking the entire population on a rocket and transporting everybody to Mars and calling it, this is our new home. Velocity Gaming, for Breeze, is their new home for them. And the agent selection doesn't really surprise me. I feel like it's going to be more default. It's going to be a double initiator setup. On the side of Weird Esports, they're playing it a little more basic. They're playing a double duelist. But for the fact, just for the record,
Select your agent.
their double duelist just functioned perfectly on the map of Haven. I had no problems. Their Phoenix flashes were nice, just like a Sky Flash would. The Phoenix was causing a lot of disturbance. Smoker playing the arena. I have no complaints. Now, on the side of Velocity, though, they're kind of struggling, right? Vibor does have the Viper to work with. I'm pretty sure Viper is going to be probably the main man, and Vibor kind of performed well in the first game, but they're still missing Amaterasu, isn't it? Aggressive.
Yeah. Amaterasu, he's just required to try and coordinate this team, and it feels like with the recent addition of Deathmaker, it's just getting a little bit more difficult for them to, have that level of coordination that they do have whenever Amaterasu on that server. He can completely control Deathmaker. He can give him the avenues that he needs on a lot of the different engagements. He can give the callouts, but with Vibor, it's not that they're playing really badly, but the thing is that they are lacking a lead. They're lacking a leader that will point them in the right direction. And without Amaterasu, you can already see them facing a lot of those problems. On Haven, it was very prominent. Will the same problem be here on Breeze, though, is the real question. Breeze is a map which is purely based upon... I will personally say this is a map based upon gunfights. Quite heavily, long-range gunfights are the name of the game here. The more fights you're able to take and the more fights you're able to win, you're just going to be able to do a lot more better. Strategy, yes, it plays a really key aspect in the way you're rotating around the map, but you still need to win out that engagement against the person who is holding from a long-range fight. And the main thing about Valorant, in my eyes, is that if you're fighting long range, there's always not a 50-50 chance of you losing a gunfight. There's like I don't know how to say it. One person is going to have like 70% chance of winning and the other person's not. Whoever's ready for the engagement is always going to win here.
Absolutely.
And in this sense, Breeze, I don't know, man. My hands are up in the air because Weird, they have the momentum and velocity. This is their home map.
Weird, they have the momentum, velocity. Sadly, not having the velocity of physics reference over there. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's really going to be interesting for us, honestly, because you look at the lineup, right? There is no weakness. It's all 5-star started players. And when they play together, no doubt they're going to play well. But then suddenly, velocity, just like you mentioned, they lacked a leader over there. You look at the map of Haven, you try and recapitulate what happened. They tried and do on the attacking side of things. It's funny how they tried and they tried no fakes. They tried no different strats, the heavy library of books that they have. But Instead, they try and go for the A executes, C executes, A executes, C executes. Deathmaker dashing in, rest of them falling behind him. Deathmaker dashing in, rest of them falling behind him. Right to Ace, Vibor, and I believe there was another player, Helef as well. Yeah, right to Ace, Vibor, and Helef. Most of the times, those guys were in clutch situations because they were trying to make a different entrance. It has been the name of the game for Velocity in the map of Haven, which certainly wasn't working. It certainly wasn't able to break apart the weird esports defense. And that basically means that Velocity Gaming, they lack a leader. They for sure have the technical capabilities, for sure have the players who can play the game, but without a leader who can steer them in the right direction, all the momentum and all that skill is not really giving them results for sure. I mean, it's actually, it's at least good that these players are enjoying themselves. For sure, they know that they're comfortable on the map of Breeze and they will be able to get it back. But I mean, Haven certainly has been a problem for them lately.
Even in general is a map where you would expect them to perform really well, but with the recent changes, I have no idea what's wrong with Velocity. It feels like they're just so on and off on Haven. Can perform so much better, and I'm really hoping that moving on down the line, they're going to be able to bring in their A game here on this map in particular, at least, because it's their do or die. If they don't win here, it's all over. Velocity, they're walking down towards that A side. Getting a little bit of value here, but Marzel, he's just walking. He does not care. He's going in as fast as he possibly can. He does have the spike, though. Can pick himself back up, gets a couple of heals for his teammates. Getting them back up to full, but Velocity, they're just waiting. They don't want to go in for the spike plan just yet. Deathmaker, he's playing with fire, knows exactly what's up. And I like this, weird. They're not going in for an overswing, but just as I said, that Pixels just gets caught out by Vibor on the side.
There is one backstab though, Weird Esports. They have to be careful about this. Helef and Halls will find Deadly 10, and Deadly 10's gonna slap him a Cypher diff over there, but it's gonna be tough for Weird Esports, honestly. Real's gonna get shut down. Deathmaker finds another one, and Marzel doesn't find another one as well. Right to Ace, putting the finally in the Guffin. Velocity Gaming. A simple execute, no complexions, but it just worked. A Viper wall raised. Try and clear out the vision. There was a drone as well. They cleared all the angles and just simply walked in this side like it's their home ground. For sure, they look confident in Weird Esports. This isn't the map of Haven. This isn't the map where they always have an idea of what postal positions they're looking at. This is something different. This is something which they probably never experienced before up against the side of Velocity Gaming. So it's going to be a little difficult for them to kind of, coordinate the way they did on the map of Haven, but Velocity, with their upgraded weaponry, it's going to be a little tough. There is a Cypher who will try and make an entry, but bad luck. His position has probably been given out.
This time. And now, Velocity, they're going in for a mad dash, and Weird, they went in for a fat stack down towards that A side. They're not going to be able to find those, though. In that sense, like, the read was good, but Velocity, they just knew. Weird, they like to go in for a little bit of those weird plays on their own accord. Then they're like, hey, maybe if you go in for that stack on A, they're going to be coming over there. But the thing about Breeze is that stacking aside is not really that beneficial. It doesn't help you as much as any other maps would, but it's completely fine. Nothing to really worry about. Swinging out is going to be Marzel. He does get the first initial kill. That's actually pretty good there. And Deathmaker is going to be the one to take down Rio from the sides. Bad luck. He should be good for one kill. Marzel's right around the corner. Let's score it, but he's just not going to be able to get it. Marzel gets taken out by Smoker, but that's all. That's it. There's nothing more than Smoker can do. Maybe one more, but no, I don't think that's going to happen.
Deathmaker on the backstab. This man could have actually changed things up, but Velocity, they start 2-0. Last time we said to Universe that it started 2-0 on the side of Weird Esports and Velocity Gaming. I said that, okay, this is supposed to be a good omen for them because they used to always start 2-0 and they just sweep across the rest of the bye rounds, but at least they have the 2-0 on their side right now. Times have changed and they are good in their pistol rounds and they are good in the gun rounds as well. It's just that they have to pile up rounds on their side, not lose confidence throughout. Suddenly things went astray for them when they were 10-6 in the map of Haven. I just hope that Weird Esports just keep playing, catching up to Velocity Gaming, and when they find the opportunity, Weird Esports should try and pounce on them once again. More of a simple AX game. Though this time they have a diversion. They have players trying to make their way in from the mid doors. Vibor will try and create an opening from mains as well. Deadly 10 is going to find out Vibor and is going to take him down. Smoke line and from nice position. He's going to find Helef as well as Deathmaker in taking down 2 players from Velocity. Surviving. Marcel is going to find a frag on a Pixels, and that's basically a 2v4 right now. Marcel, will he find another one? Bad love. Mid doors. He will sacrifice his position, but he knows that Marcel won't get to anywhere.
They're just not able to find any form of value here. Velocity, they're already on the back foot. They've lost so many of their members so quickly. Marcel, though, is able to upgrade himself to the Phantom at the bare minimum, but still, this Phantom is not going to be paying that much dividends. One player straight on his right side, but Battle of, he should know. He's not expecting it, though. Marcel walks in, gets another kill for himself. Right to ace on towards the back end. Does get the recon bolt value just a little bit, but... Ooh, those were a couple of missed shots from the side of Rio. That's gonna cost him because Marcel, he's on the back foot. He knows exactly what's up. He's just cleaning them up slowly but surely, just like the assassin that he is. He's in the flank. He has the best possible position, but in this 2 versus 2, they cannot get too complacent. If Velocity start getting too comfortable in their positions, they could just get pounced on because Smoker and Deadly 10, they are dangerous players if you're not careful. And Marcel, you sneaky little bugger, could just get an ace, but he misses out on it. But now it's all up to Right to Right to clutch or not.
He knows. He wants to take it aggressive. Spectre versus Vandal takes him to the woodworks. Right to ace converts and Velocity Gaming make it 3-0. The duel Right to ace and Marcel. This was fabulous. Marcel looking back is like, did you see that, Fatu? Did you see that? Yeah, I can do stuff like this.
But dude, Marcel, he is the hero of this round. Getting a 4K like that and nearly pulling off an ace. If Marcel was able to compose himself for that last kill, he would have had it. But Smoker, he just had a better angle. He was up on top of the crates. He was just in a better position. 0-3 on the scorecards. And this is a sign here, Salty, that maybe this is going to happen. Maybe this is going to work. This is a sign.
For sure it is. The Aldrone as well as the wall combination. Deadly 10 with the Sheriff. They will try and take one Helef on the backside. He knows exactly there's going to be one, but Battlev actually finds Marcel. The hero of the last round is no more. Deathmaker still trying for more frags. Deathmaker not playing at his usual best, but he's still finding kills. He's still getting the results for the team. Smoker with Marshall will try and look for exit frags. Wait, Smoker. What was that? What was that? What was that? Tell me it wasn't true. Nonetheless, Deathmaker.
On the instant replay, man. That's what I want to see here. Oh my god, Smoker, that shot was absolutely beautiful. Right to ace just fell out of his chair because of that. First it was Deathmaker, and then Smoker just casually just taps him out of existence. He swings around and he's like, oh, who's shooting at me, boy? Who's shooting? Pops him in the forehead, man. Absolutely beautiful play from this man. Just look at it. Poof. Just gone. You can't make that up. You really just can't.
He was like, all right, I spot a lot of heads over there. I'm gonna shoot at point blank range and expect something happening. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, 4-0 the scorecard. We are esports. They're for sure struggling, especially with economy not being on their side. Velocity Gaming, these simple pushes have been working out for them. Weird Esports, they haven't worked out enough. I guess they were struggling with the economy as of now. They haven't had the money to buy, to full buy yet. But once they do, not really sure what the plan of action is going to be. Like, what do you do to try and break out that execute? What do you do to try and prevent that execute from happening? Do you deploy your own Viper's wall to probably break the momentum? What do you think, Aggressive? What do you think Weird Esports can do to probably prevent VLT from funneling into the A side?
Right now, I would say they need to try and figure out what exactly Velocity are planning. Because Velocity, they're constantly switching up their strategies. They're just going over to A, they're going over to B. They're causing so much presence throughout the entire map. And the fact that they're using the sky so beautifully to get a lot of these different entries as well is one of the primary reasons why they're faltering so much. The double initiator composition allows you to be so much more systematic in the way you want to enter a site that the thing is, Weird doesn't have enough utility to counteract them. What do they really have to stop a lot of these aggressive pushes? Yeah, you have a Viper with a top. That's it. You need something more, and I personally do believe that this operator pickup from Bad Love could be the thing that they require to bring this round 1 back. Because the thing is, Velocity, what are they normally doing? They're walking straight into a side, because what does Weird have to stop them? Absolutely nothing. They need to use their own bodies to stop them. But with an operator pickup, I personally do believe with the long-range engagement possibilities that this map gives, they should be able to find it, but Bad Love, he's stuck in one position. He needs to rotate with that operator, and that operator's not going to be able to hold down for long. Ooh, Pixels.
30
This is so
seconds
good.
left.
Nice one. His position has been given out though, but I don't think that that's going to be a problem. Velocity Gaming yet to make an entry in mid. They find Deadly 10. That's important. Deathmaker trying to fall back. Smoker is in position already. Smoker is going to delay Deathmaker. But thankfully, Vibor has already made his way in through the Viper wall. He finds one. Pixels has been taking down the Smoker. Slapped back. Another one. A triple for this man. And Team Weird Esports, they find their first round. Velocity Gaming, 4th round, but there's a dead start for them. Weird Esports, they've got up the mark already, and now things look good for them. Now things look like they can make it work. Their A defense was nice, especially with the Viper switch. They used to play the Viper on the B side, but now the Viper is back on the A side, and they've been able to push back Velocity Gaming a little bit. So the A execute isn't happening all easily. Interesting how Velocity Gaming, they've tried and not explode the mid as much. They've shown presence, they've shown in flashes, they've tried to, you know, show in some bodies, but they haven't exploded too aggressively.
That was a good flash from Barstool, man. Both of them were so blind, they had no idea where they wanted to go. Both of them were just slow walking into one another. Little did they know what the situation was like, but still right to Ace with the 100 Fury. He's gonna be good for another one. Poor old Battle Love's not gonna be able to survive as well. Dashes straight into the awaiting arms of Vibor with a couple of bullets from that Vandal. Rio's good for 1-1 tab, but he's not going to be able to get anything more than that. It is a 4 versus 3 situation. Shock darts are going to be decent, but doesn't get any chunks of damage. Marzel swings out, gets another kill on towards the base of Pixels, and Velocity immediately as the round was going in the favor of Weird. It's already over. There's nothing that they can do. Right to Ace with the right to shock dart to his name. Gets another kill for himself, and Marzel on the flank is going to be able to shut down the last. My god, Velocity, they have so much control all across the map. And once again, I like the fact that Weird is holding down to that A side really well, but they need to figure something out for the B side as well. Their B side hit is, I would personally say, a lot more weaker than their A, because the Viper should normally be playing B. Isn't that correct? If the Viper is playing B, then it's really difficult to enter down over onto the B side because of the amount of utility you can use. But the thing about the Viper playing on A is that yes, the A side is a lot more stronger, but your B side is pretty much the weakest link out of them all. The Cypher alone can hold A. It's difficult, but it's possible if you're able to play it very systematically and very safe. He's not really doing that. Deadly, he's an incredible aimer, but if he's playing super aggressive against Velocity, that's always not going to be working out in your favor. Oh,
Pixels deletes their take over there. A war of thrones. It's 2040, ladies and gentlemen. Marzel really find a frag, not really. Spoker once again with the Marshal. He's been able to take down Marzel. Now it's 3v3 Velocity Gaming. They do have their Viper Spit, but I'm not really sure if they're going to execute that. Jet already on his knives. And the rest of the players trying to creep in from bridge. Nice one, Vibor. No Viper Spit for you. You find Helef. Only one knife left. He barely gets away. He barely gets away. Helef in position once again. It's a 2v3 right now. Should be easy for Weird Esports, but not really on the right weapons. Marshals and Classics, which doesn't really do a lot of damage in this position. In spite of so much good work, Velocity Gaming once again trickle another round in their favor. But you know, coming back to your point, aggressive. I feel like, yeah, Weird Esports, they've been playing the Viper on the B side default, but since, just like I mentioned, they wanted to stop that A aggression from happening. The A aggression was happening time and time again with just a wall and a drone, right? Which was pushing back all the players, which was pushing back the Cypher as well. They shifted from that B Cypher to the A, they shifted from the B Viper to the A Viper, and now Viper is playing A. Velocity, they determined that, all right, the B side is gonna be left completely open, and they try and hit the B side. So with only one main form of defense, it's always gonna be difficult for Weird Esports to try and stop back, to try and protect it, double protect both the sides. Here comes Hunter's
Oh,
Fury.
no,
One play,
yeah.
tries to trickle in.
I
Deathmaker to the fine pixel. What just happened? Deathmaker, another one. Battler finally makes it back, but Smoker is
Oh
in
my
his
God, Bad Luck.
impress mode. Through the woodworks. Battler is an insane player. But Smoker,
Spike
I'm not really
planted.
sure if he will be able to cross the tripwire. The camera spots him, just waiting for Hela to just peek out. They'll try and take out the arrow, the sonar, and Hela once again. She's taking that bullet in his head. Viper spared a lot of green utility on the A side, and the spike has been planted for Weird Esports. It's going to be a little problematic, especially with Bad Love inside
Last player
that Viper spit. I'm not really sure if he can use that weapon. And Bad Love,
He can't do anything in that situation. He's stuck
Yeah.
between a rock and a hard place. He has nowhere to run. He has nowhere to hide. And Velocity, this is their home map for a reason. They have just so much control. The way that they're executing is so smart as well. Understand something. As soon as the Hunter's Fury came in, immediately the players who were holding on mid, they pushed from mid doors and went in for a hard push against the side of Pixels and Rio. Rio had nowhere to go. Pixels, he also had nowhere to run. He needed to run on away, get himself into a better position. But the fact is, he was playing from the side of pyramids. Instead of playing in behind the pyramids, he was in front of them. So where does he even go? But, oh my God, Bad Love just swings out and casually taps Deathmaker in the forehead. Deathmaker's like, okay, sure. It's not like I had feelings, man. You didn't have to do me like that. Oh, deadly.
Deadly 10 once again. Sheriffs are all that they need right now. It's a 2 for 2, ladies and gentlemen. And Bad Love once again surviving the shotgun. He actually gets reward as well as Hela through the walls. This man is insane. Right to base once again a clutch situation, but he can actually convert this a 1v2, especially with guns on his side. Also the spike as well as a Hunter's Fury. I would really place my bets on right to ace at this point. Going to the A side and planting the spike is a good decision, but Weird Esports, what can they possibly do? Can they retrieve some weapons in the process and stack the odds in their favor? That's gonna be the question. They know that this is gonna be a B. This is gonna be an A plant, so they try and quicken them. Wait. As soon as I was saying that, Pixels, what was that shot again? Can we see the instant replay right now?
There is a limit. There is an actual limit to how all of this is gonna work, but oh my God, Bad Love, how did you just pull off something like that? Your shots are just beautiful, man. He's just casually tapping them all out of existence. Pixels as well, just rocking them double headphones on his shoulders. Why the hell not? Because if there is something like this, oh my God, just look at it one more time. Just look at Bad Love. He's just popping people. He doesn't even care. Pop, goes around, pops another guy, swings out and gets a kill onto Helen. He would have even gotten a kill onto right to ace if he knew he was inside of the site. When Bad Love fields himself with the Sheriff, he just does not miss here, ladies and gentlemen.
Not just him,
Weird.
as well as Zelly10 as well. All of them, all of Weird Esports, they played perfectly on the Sheriff.
They're just that good with their aim, but still Bad Love misses out on the operator shot. That could just hurt them, but Smoka is able to walk straight forward. Smoka's on such a beautiful flag. The trigger discipline's gonna be good. Smoka should be able to walk in straight behind these two players. This is an easy kill for him. That's gonna be one. There should be a second. Oh no, the positions are not gonna be good, Smoka. You need to win one more second. Trigger discipline's not gonna be helping him out much before it gets the trade, and now it's 4 versus 3 situation. Velocity is still in a good spot. Helef's gotta be coming in clutch. Gets 2. He's looking for one more. Swings out and gets his 3rd. He's looking for his 4th and deadly 10. He's gonna get caught out in the crossfire by the board. 2 and 8 on the scorecards, and Hellfighter, he just gets away with murder.
Not sure how this could go south, especially with Smoker in that position. I have absolutely no clue why this went south for Weird Esports, but you look at Helef, you look at a player like him, always clutching rounds. Aggressive, I'm not really sure if you were there in the map of Haven where he pulled off an outrageous 1v4 clutch, and then in the next round, once again, he gets a 3k for himself. Like, those situations are what Helef feeds himself with. Like, this player is an absolute madman, and he loves adversity. He loves challenges. Pixels once again in an aggressive position. He's gonna get punished for it. Deathmaker through the poison cloud, just deleting him. Here come the Seekers, and they're trying to make an entry. Velocity with no real defense. It's gonna be an easy task for them. They have all the ultimates in the world right now.
Oh,
Most
that maker.
whoa. No. You're not allowed to do that. Butchering the head. Bad luck. Getting a two of his own. All these jets flying with their knives and getting killed. Jetmaker. Please put a stop to bad luck. Yes, he does. A 3K for him as well. Weird's real. With a Marshall and a Dream right now. 8-4 would be a respectable scoreline, but Velocity aren't stopping. Wait, LF will be stopped right in his tracks. Rio was like, wait, you stopped there, you died there. Has a Vandal that can be retrieved. Jetmaker still has his knives, and he's gonna butcher him down. A quad K for this man. Velocity, they're on a roll right now. Raze, rightfully their home turf, and they're not budged. They're not budged by their presence. They're like a steam engine at full acceleration.
Dude, this is just insane. The way that Velocity are able to take every single one of these fights, it just amazes me the way that they're able to be so consistent throughout the entire phase of this. The runs are beautiful. The way that they're taking the engagements are really clean. All of their executions are planned out and thought through as well, with Helev going in for control all across the map. Helev is such a beautiful lurker, and once again, I thought that the Viper ultimate was bugged out a little bit, but it's completely fine. I thought it got stuck on a wall again, but I still remember that Riot in the recent update did fix a couple of the clipping issues that Viper has with the ultimate. But moving on back from that, I really do need to talk about the way that Velocity are able to find a lot of these rounds. Thing is, look at the amount of control that they have. They're trying to take tube control before anything else. Hall should be in their favor. And Smoka just wasn't ready for that engagement. Spots out Vivor, but Vivor instead is going to be the one to take him on down out. And now Bad Love. He's going to be the one holding down from mid, trying to see if he can find some form of value here. But with so much map control already being established, where do you go? Do we go up top? Do you go up to the bottom? That Vegas spots out one of the players, and it's going to be Vivor to finish him off as well. Pixels gets one kill. Right to aces with 100 views. Going to be able to check down another. That Vegas spots out a random Bad Love. A deadly 10. How much more can you do? How much more can you survive there? Gets taken out as well instantly. And I don't know who's the attacker and who's the defender anymore. It feels like at one stage, the side of Velocity, the defensive side is their home, and the attacking side is the home of Weird. Weird's literally running around in mid, something that the attackers normally do. And Velocity, they're inside of the site, and they're the ones killing the people on the defense who are on mid. I don't understand what's happening.
It's basically Velocity having a field day at work right now. And look at this, right? 10-2 the scorecard. Weird Esports 2 rounds that they have came in from some outrageous plays, but at this point there is no stopping Velocity. This was supposed to be their map. This is their map, of course. If not, Weird Esports do something absolutely weird, rightfully to their name, of course. Smoke up. Still trying to, make an entry. The Owl Drone will get, tripped by the tripwire, sadly, but yeah. Having said that, I mean, you can see that there is a two-man defense on the B side, both Cypher as well as Viper. The A side has been left completely naked, but that doesn't really budge because the read from Team Velocity is perfect. Team Weird Esports, they will hit the B side with all that they've got. But with a defense like that, it, of course, is going to be difficult. You also have the Sky who is lurking around in mid as well. So any sort of funny business that you try and pull off from the Halls area as well, you will be stopped. Reinforcements can come in pretty quick as well. And Weird Esports realize that they don't know that they have no chance of making it to the B side. They try and rotate. Now, I've always been talking about this aggressive, that in Haven, the rotations have been blazingly fast. And this is why they have clear-cut calls. Look at this. All the players, they switch themselves from the B hit to the A hit almost instantaneously. Pixels is still holding that back, holding that mid position, trying to create a diversion, trying to cut the defense in half. And now they have the A side for themselves. At least they can plant the spike. They push back the jet. They push back Jetmaker. If they get the kill as well, that will be the side completely left open. Pixel, he finds Marcels, and now it's time for him to rejoin his team and put more reinforcements onto that post plant.
Dude, Helev, he's been so consistent the way he's been able to get all of these kills. Just look at this man. He's getting all the kills when he really is needed. Ooh, Deathmaker gets tagged down to 26 HP. Good ding from the side of Smoker. Not going to be able to find that kill though, but Vivor, he's going to be good for another one for himself. He's looking for a couple of more kills for himself as well. He's going to be sticking down the spike, but Deadly 10 just doesn't miss those shots. Helev gets another one for himself, but that's all that he's going to be able to find. After Diffuse should be coming on down through. There's no way that he should miss this shot. Oh no, Deathmaker's one shot that he missed just costed him pretty much everything. Rio instead is going to be the one to survive and get all of those kills and shut them all down. 3 and 10 on the scorecards here, ladies and gentlemen. slowly but surely, the side of Weird, they're keeping their hopes and dreams alive. The comeback's gonna be hard, especially when you're on the map of Breeze, but thing is, if anyone can make that comeback, it has to be Weird. Even if it's on a 3 and 10, on the map of Breeze, I would personally say that comebacks are possible, but I don't know if Weird are gonna be able to do it.
True that, but I mean, you look at this, right? Weird Esports, they haven't really been playing bad. It's just that they've been struggling in the final third of the rounds. They've been giving up. They were in winning positions in a plethora of rounds where single players, they just come out and clutch, or probably from a winning position, from a 2v3 situation, from a 2v4 situation, they just give away the round. Now that is something which you would generally say is due to experience, and for sure Velocity have much more experience playing on the map of Breeze than Team Weird is, and that is visible. You can see that their post plan or their crossfires aren't really that strong. The players are somehow lost in trying to figure out an exit strategy from a side, or probably trying to make an entry to a side. You talked about how there were few attackers from Weird Esports who were left stranded in mid as well. So all these situations do happen when there is a lack of experience playing a particular map, and for Weird Esports, Breeze, that's understandable, but they haven't necessarily played bad. They were neck and neck with Velocity Gaming. For sure, Velocity were an edge better in this map, but there were situations where Weird Esports, they could have made a lot more rounds for themselves. This easily could have been like, what, 10-6, 10-7 for Weird Esports had they converted the rounds where they were in the lead, but then Velocity just came out and clutch. So considering all those situations, I'm not really sure. Bind could just be their magic. Third time wonder. Third time lucky, they say, but Weird Esports, not really sure if it is going to be for them. But Breeze right now, yeah, aggressive.
It's Velocity's game.
Exactly. It looks really hard for Weird Esports to make a comeback, especially after all the rounds that they've lost in the mid game.
The thing about Velocity in general is that when they're in their element, there is nothing that you can do to try and stop them. They're just that
Are
good.
they in the element right now? Are they playing their best? This is...
I would personally say this is the Velocity at their finest. Just look at Deathmaker. He's just casually walking into side points, tapping them out of existence. Map control's already there. Nothing to really worry about whatsoever. But that's the thing. Whenever you have this much map control, whenever you're this confident in the way that you're taking a lot of your different engagements, Helif walked into halls, took control, got 4 kills, and got them the round. And it made it seem as though the attackers were the defenders and the defenders were the attackers. The defenders were running around in mid while the attackers were in sight. That's how much dominance that they're having on this map in particular. So I would personally say that there's no way to change this, or just to say that Weird have a chance of coming back from this, because Breeze is one of those maps to go in for a comeback at such a massive scale. It's just not possible. Yeah, if it was something like a 7 and 10, I would say that, yeah, comeback's for sure gonna happen. But at this state, it's probably not. But Vivor, a little bit too ambitious, I would say, in the way that he wanted to take that entry, but I guess it's fine.
Yeah,
oh,
Marcel.
Right away.
Just walks in.
Wanted to give a hug, man. Wanted to get a hug.
Yeah, probably. Wait, what? Rio through the walls. Nice one over there. Shot that comes in as well. Velocity Gaming, they've actually been left stranded. Now, for sure, the upgraded weaponry from the side of Weird Esports is going to give them their 4th, but Velocity Gaming, I mean, when they come back full by next round, this can be bad. Now, Deathmaker, is he trying to maybe, look for some flashy plays? Is he trying to make a reel at this point? Wait, Deathmaker, are you making reels? No, Pixels is already on the backstab. No reels for you, Deathmaker. No clips.
This is not gonna happen for him. 4 and 10 on the scorecards, though. It's completely fine, Salty. Nothing to really worry about. They just lost on the pistol round and on the anti-eco. But the thing is, on that anti-eco, they lost like 3 guns. Weird. They're not in the best of positions, and Pixels also couldn't get himself a gun. You do need to remember. So he needs to invest and then upgrade himself onto a better weapon. So in a way, it's pretty much still a pseudo buy, I would say, for the side of Weird, because a couple of them did buy into the Phantoms and the Vandals. So let's see what they're going to be doing in the following roundup, because now it's Velocity's turn. They have the money. They have everything to work with to try and bring this round back onto their side. Bad luck.
Yeah.
He spots out right to ace. That outrun's gonna give so much information away. 3 players should be holding right to ace. Not going for this swing, man. This is such a dangerous call. Right to ace. He's dead.
One down. Here.
Should not have
Right
stayed
now
there.
he is.
He should
Pixels.
not have stayed there.
Careful.
Through that, here comes the
Careful.
wall, but Marzel is just waiting, just guarding it down. He is the only form of defense that Velocity have in the A side. They
know.
have reinforcements. They have reinforcements, but look at this wonderful stuff that I get to see. Weird Esports. They instantly get the kill and they rotate towards the B side. Wonderful stuff, and VLT have no information about it. The Jet and the Viper, they probably have some idea right now because they have heard the orb. But Vibor will try and position himself. Deathmaker loading his gun, waiting for the chamber to just unload themselves on the opposition. Weird Esports. Will they start funneling in? Here comes the recon. Will push back Vibor a little bit. The poison cloud is there as well. Weird Esports
30
once
seconds
again
left.
trying to mix things up, trying to move towards. Wait. What are they
Find
trying?
something. 25 seconds, dude. They're gonna go to B. They're trying to go from tunnels. Maybe it will work, but the thing is, the tunnels push is not gonna be that beautiful. Hella swings out. That's gonna be the first initial kill. That Vega's gonna be gone for 3. This guy would have seen his element. He just does not miss. This is what I mean, man. Waiting for too long, you can
Weird,
see
yeah.
that weird. They're just not in their element. They're just not doing what they really want to do here, man. Like, waiting up for this long when you know for a fact their opposition has a lot of time to get into better positions, you need to press your advantage as soon as you possibly can, especially on this map.
Exactly. I mean, you look at things, right? You look at the A phase, you look at the kill to right to ace on halls, and they rotate towards B. That was perfect. They had the advantage. There was only one player on the B side. They could have got that execute. They could have got away with at least like 1 kill, and they could have got away with murder there. But they didn't, right? They try and mix things up even more. They wait for the players. They wait for reinforcements to come through as well. This time though, we have a Viper Spit. Weird Esports investing every little equipment, every little utility that they have in this one. They've lost a player as well. Rio is down. Players are getting tagged, and one by one they're being sprayed down upon. There is one player in Hall, so that is going to be a nuisance for them. But this Viper Spit sadly does not extend to planting position, I guess. And that basically means Helef can cause a lot of problems. Right to ace, he actually gets deadly 10. Here comes a flash, but Weird Esports, they're still playing catch up to
right
Velocity
to
Gaming. Right to ace. This
standing.
exact Viper Spit is the cause of their disastrous exit in this one. I mean, dude, it was good. It was good. But it was just 2 inches away from planting position. Like, why is the green not extending? That is probably what Weird Esports thinking. 2 inches! 2 inches!
In that sense, on this 4-12 scoreline, I don't know, man. It's not possible anymore. We just need to give this towards the side of Velocity. Weird. I can see them just being like, they're literally like a fish out of the water. They don't know what to do. They're just like, hey, maybe if we try this, we can get something over the side of Velocity, but even that's not gonna happen. Deathmaker finds a random deadly Ted just walking around the corner as he pushes from mid. No one is watching the mid side, which is very questionable because the mid is where you always want to hold. Hellfire gets caught out just a little bit by bad luck, but still they should be able to make something happen for bad luck. Oh my god. He's making a difference here, but still look at Vibor. Vibor's position. They shouldn't really be expecting him. He's in the best possible spot to bring this one back. Just swing out, just get 1 kill. He has the spike on him. And this basically means that he should easily be able to survive this. Here's all of the footsteps. Gonna be the one to swing out. That's gonna be the first initial player. Swing it out and try to go for the next one. Pixels casually taps him out of existence. This guy is just too good. Especially with a Guardian. He just goes in for a 1-tap straight to the forehead. With that, that's 5-12, man. Maybe it could happen, but at the same time, this is one of those one-off rounds. I personally don't believe in Weird trying to go in for a comeback. If they do, I'm saying if they do, my entire career as an analyst is on the line.
Weird Esports. He got some weird upsets, not just a 2-0, but also aggressive in his career. I mean, for sure, the Garden Clutch was important for them, but it still was a 1v1. A comeback for them is still going to be important. Is still going to be difficult. Now, look at this, though. Vibor, he was like, okay, I'm gonna put up a Viper Spit on the B side. You guys, no entry to you. You're gonna make tunnel vision towards the A side where Deathmaker is gonna take down Rio. Pixels finds one back, but Smoker
Confusion?
and Mazel will.
Confusion?
For sure. But here comes Bad Love, right? He is also on the back lines. He's also on enemy territory. Mazel just completely disagreeing. Like VLT look a little
Oh my
startled
god,
at
look
this
at that
point.
spike! Look at that spike! Dude, they forgot that spike again! Okay.
Yeah, but they did. But all these VLT players, they are like, bro, where are you? Vibor not looking in the right direction. Mazel
Spike
just
down.
suddenly finding Deadly 10, and here comes the Seekers in no position, honestly, but just trying to find out players where they are. They will retrieve the spike and try and go for the plant, but yeah, it's a little weird from Velocity Gaming, honestly, because the way they try to push up was not really coordinated, and they suddenly were like, wait, all the players from attack are on our backstabs and they're getting kills. How is this possible?
What is happening? I'm looking at the minimap and I'm scratching my head being like, where exactly is Velocity going? Why are they so
enemy
spread out?
remaining.
One in the
Exactly.
back, one in the front. Pixel just comes in from the backside from tunnels somehow by missing out Deathmaker. And now it's all up to Deathmaker to try and go in for a clutch. He should be good for 1 kill, but with 1 HP, I don't think that's going to happen. Especially, I'm very sure that the Toxic Bites are present as well. Goes in for a couple of shots and poor old Deathmaker, he's not going to be able to land that flick. Pixels instead is going to be the one to send him back home. 4K for Pixels, but once again, I really want to know what just happened here. Pixels and Badlove walked into the B side. Helev didn't watch the B entrance. He went back into B elbow, tried to push from B main while Right to Ace was coming from B tunnels very late and then gets caught out by Pixels, who walked from B main over to elbow and then over to B tunnels straight in front of Deathmaker. Just explain to me what was this rotation. Both of the teams feel as though like they have no idea what they're doing and they're just winging it.
Right. It's literally like a jigsaw puzzle at this point. It's a maze in my head. And I have no clue. I'm really bad at mazes. Deathmaker, though, pushes up early. Right to Ace will push back as well, but he just pops up his Hunter's Fury casually. Will actually tag one player. Thankfully, not the kill, though. Deadly Tennis will spoke us back to back. They get 2 kills. 5v3 right now. Marcel trying to make an entry. He's gonna find somebody. Yes, he will. Yes, he's gonna find Smoker as well. But sadly, not anymore. Rio's gonna shut him down. There's only one player surviving. Right to Ace with his shock darts. And team ace for Weird Esports. You spoke of comeback. You spoke of how your career is on the line in this game. Aggressive. It seems like Weird Esports have heard me, and they're actually taking all the necessary measures.
Dude, this is why I never actually take a bet. Half of the time when I take a bet on something, it always ends up so horrible, and I am very scared. Now, if Weird is able to take this, man, if they're able to go on over to an overtime, I would be really surprised. Yes, they're on the attacking side. This is a very attack-favored map in comparison to the defense, but it's difficult. It feels like Weird, suddenly they're pulling off very unorthodox strategies, and at the same time, Velocity, they're trying to, let's say, over-aggress on a lot of their corners that they really shouldn't be going for. Once again, Velocity, they're trying to gain some map control. It's gonna be Deathmaker trying to go in for his own fight. He can't really break this trip without exposing himself completely to try and go in for a push here. Gets caught out by the tripwire. It's gonna be the one to break it at the bare minimum. But look at Badlove and his position. He's already here, on towards the back end. But Marcel, he knew exactly what Pixels was trying to do. Throws on that classic. He just threw his classic into that shoot and then Pixel's head just popped up. And it's like Marcel's like, oh, hello there. Are you Mario? No, I am Mario. But ooh, Deadly 10. That was a really bad miss. That's gonna cost them. And thank God Velocity, they're saving my career.
Player standing.
They're not gonna let me go out as an analyst, not just yet. But Velocity, they get all of the kills and now it's all up to Deadly 10. Trying to bring this one back, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Right to Ace. Easy, clean one tap for him. Taking it all away, bringing it all back home. And hey, that's the 7-13 scoreline. Took a little bit of time to get there, but hey, Velocity, they were able to close it out nonetheless.
I mean, yes. It took a lot of time
Oh, look
for
at
them.
that figure. He's like,
Yeah, everybody is like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, hearts for you, hearts for us. But to be honest, Velocity will be breathing a sigh of relief at this point because they're like, this took some time. This took some time and effort, and they shouldn't really have. We're esports. They're not really experienced on the map of Breeze, but yet they put up a fighting chance against Velocity Gaming. That comeback with the potential comeback that we were talking about was real. It went for like a couple of rounds, probably 5. So Velocity, they were really stranded in the map of Breeze. I'm not really sure what Bind is going to bring us. Like, Haven was a completely different ball game. They were owned on their attacking side of things, and on the other side, on Breeze, it was a little easy for them to kind of get the match, but also not that easy as well. We'll have a look at the highlights, and I'll explain to you exactly why I say this wasn't really easy for them. There were situations where players from Weird Esports were finding themselves in position where Velocity wasn't really expecting them, right? The defense was nice, but on attack, Weird Esports were pulling off some weird moves like pushing up halls and trying to, get these players surprisingly. And look at this Deadly 10, he shuts down Helef, and all these players just trying to, steamroll past the opposition at this point. But yeah, right. Problems were certainly there, but Weird Esports as well as Velocity Gaming, they both duked it out in the second half of the game. At least it wasn't really as one-sided as it was in the first half.
I think that the primary problem that Weird had was a compositional disadvantage, especially after losing out on 10 rounds on your defense, man. Like, what do you do? Like, there's nothing. The thing about Breeze as a map is that if you have a very substantial lead on one of the sides, like a 10-2 scoreline, you have no possibility of actually going in for a proper comeback. It's just not going to happen. Yes, Weird, they had the aim, but strategy-wise, what do you really want to do? Do you want to go in for a fast rush on mid? Who's going to be watching mid? After you take mid control, what do you want to do with it? Someone needs to watch halls. You need to have a very solid plan in the way that you really want to take a lot of these different engagements if you're running a double duelist composition on the map of Breeze. That's the thing. When you're running a double duelist, positioning is key. Whenever you're running a double initiator or a composition based purely upon utility, it's a little bit more different though. You can rely on your utility to get you a lot of the information, so you don't really need to spread yourselves out that thin. That's what Velocity were doing consistently throughout their own defensive side. The fact that they had so much utility, they were able to use that utility to gain information and then push out a lot of these different corners, get the advantages and get the map control in their favor. They knew exactly what Weird were thinking all of the time. There was no one on mid from Weird on their own defensive side. No one was pushing up from B main. No one of the pushes from A main either. And the times that they did go in for pushes, it was already too little too late. Velocity, they were already in the lead. They already had the momentum, and there was nothing to really stop them. These were miracle rounds by Bad Love. Just look at this guy. He got 3 1-taps in a row. You can't rely on these miracles. Yes, double duelist, really good when you have extraordinary aim. But aim is not what wins you the game here on the map with Breeze. Yes, it's super important, but you need to have a solid strategy that will allow you to use your aim to the best of its own abilities. Because look at Helef. He doesn't even need aim to get these kills, but he has cracked out aim, but he's using none of it. Just walks in, gets all of the information in the entire world from his teammates, casually gets a 4K, and wins them the round.
Yeah, true that. And also, like, the Sky pick versus the Reyna on the side of Weird Esports. The Sky gives you much more map control, a lot more information, a lot more ground to actually make the plays happen instead of like a Reyna, which kind of depends on her own kills to activate her utilities, as well as the flashes aren't really that long range. So the Reyna wasn't really the best pick, honestly, according to me. But then it was not just about the pick; it was about the mindset as well, on how to kind of go about the game as well. And Aggressive, what do you think? Like, what comes next? Bind is going to be the next stop for us. 1-1 the scorecard. Nobody really thought Weird Esports versus Velocity would actually go to a decider, but ladies and gentlemen, we are actually going to a decider. What is your call? Who's going to win this?
I'm not going to be saying anything just yet because on the map of Bind Weird, there's a possibility that they're going to be able to sweep it all away and possibly take out Velocity, because that is a map where Weird is known to be really strong in. But hey, we really have to wait and see, because Velocity, they could be full of surprises, and also Weird as well from their side. But for now, we're going to be setting up map number 3. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, because we're going to be back with the real shortly with the LG Ultragear TC Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Crucial. Our apparel partners are 656, and our accessories partners are Cosmic Byte. We'll catch you in just a little bit.
from the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial Ballistix.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the LG Ultragear TC Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Crucial, and our apparel partners are 656, while our accessory partners are Cosmic Byte. Hey, we are back once again, jumping straight into the fray one more time after a very dominant win from the side of Velocity. We kind of expected it. It was bound to happen, but at the same time, they pulled up a pretty good fight, don't you think so here, Salty? Because on Breeze, I honestly didn't even believe that they would be able to get 7 rounds, but they kind of put up a respectable fight. But right at the very end, they did lose. And now as we're heading on to Bind, I think that things are going to get a lot more spicy.
Yeah, like the first half, just like I mentioned, the first half was really one-sided. 10-2 scoreline is something which you'd never, which you don't really see all that much. But after that, Weird Esports, they kind of picked up their game and they went 5 more rounds to actually make it 13-7. So it was a good effort. It was a good effort from them. But now that it is in the past, we have seen a 1-1 right now. Haven, Weird Esports completely snatching away from the hands of Velocity. A game which people thought would end at 2-0 is actually going to its decider, which is going to be Bind. Now, Bind isn't going to be easy. Weird Esports to start off on defense, which basically means that they can pull on a few rounds. Bind technically isn't all that attacking or defensive sided, according to me. I feel like both the sides have equal an advantage as well as a disadvantage. But being on the defensive side basically means you can study your opposition a little more.
Yep.
So they have that advantage for them. They have that working for them. And honestly, they can make it work. Velocity Gaming without the leader Amaterasu has been a little flabbergasted with their attacking strategies, have been a little completely all over the place. If that is gonna happen in the map bind as well, they can snatch a few rounds on the defense side of things and possibly, just possibly, make it a 2-1 for themselves if they carry the momentum from that particular point on. But the odds are stacked heavily against their favor, and now we move on to the agent select aggressive, expecting a double duelist, double initiator.
I just want to see a double initiator without a double duelist, but at the same time, hey, they're going to be going in for a double controller strategy. Imagine going in for a double initiator strategy when double controller is the thing.
I actually meant double controller, double initiator. Instead, I said double duelist, double initiator. Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen, double duelist, double initiator does not exist.
Well, in a way, I guess it's fine. Double initiator, double controller can also be a really good pickup for them, but you know that no team really wants to play that other than the teams in Europe who like to rely completely on the utility. For our scene in South Asia, a little bit more, it's much more based upon raw aim game. We tend to follow the much more NA meta, which is purely based upon raw gunfights, or thus the double duelist compositions
Choose
are a
your
lot more
agent.
prominent here. So in that sense, Bind being played out as a double controller for the side of Weird, it's not really anything out of the ordinary. Pixels being one of the best Viper players that you can ever think of. Because I'm pretty sure that you remember his time in Team VALOR. Team VALOR made Bind their home mat just purely off of Pixels playing this Viper. The fact that the Viper gets so much value from his side, I'm really afraid that Velocity, they're not going to be able to figure out how to take down Pixels. Because as soon as Pixel holds down the site, there's nothing in the world that can stop him from just tapping you out of existence, especially after the fact that Pixels, he's having a really good day. This guy is just tapping people out of existence. You saw that on Breeze, you saw that on Haven. And if Deadly's also having having a good match, again, he's going to be able to perform so well that Velocity, they could just get taken down. And the fact that we are also starting on the defense, I personally would say that Bind is a little bit more attacker-sided. I understand why, a little bit more defensive-sided, sorry. I understand why you're saying that both the attack and the defense are a little bit equal, but in my eyes, I always will say Bind is much more defense-favored, primarily because the composition that Weird have favors the defense over the attack.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look at this. We have 3 different controllers playing the game. This is probably the first time I'm seeing 3 different controllers. We have a Brimstone, we have a Viper, we have an Astra as well. That basically means there is going to be a lot of action, ladies and gentlemen. The final decider is on in front of our screens. Weird Esports versus Velocity Gaming has been a phenomenon, honestly. Deathmaker deleting Battle of, pulling off a jet diff over there. No orb for you, at least for now. Velocity Gaming trying to make their move, trying to aggress even further. The raise gives you so much information. The boom bot through the smoke. Look at this. The smoke retrieves the sheriff, deals a lot of damage. There is no real side control established yet, but Weird Esports, they're doing their part. Velocity Gaming doing their part as well. They are not inside side, but Deadly 10 with his pain shield is gonna find Vibor. That's a 1-for-1, but most of Velocity, they are down already. They aren't really healthy at this point. You look at the HP, they're basically low, and Pixels are on the backstab. Sova going down, Deathmaker pulling it back, but that's about it. Exactly, 30 HP on every single guy. It's a 3v3, but it's basically Weird Esports 1 foot in 1-0.
Yeah, they're already this close. There's nothing that they can do other than one straight shock dart and a person's gonna die. Just a tiny little damage, spots on one of the heads, but look at the positioning, Deathmaker! You wanted to go in for a kill, man, but Smoker, you don't have to do him like that. Deathmaker's already at like 30 HP and you had to hit him with a 159? Ouch, that's gonna hurt, but I guess it's fine. Now it's all up to Hellfighter. Hellfighter's
Bring around the Rosie.
He's gonna be the one to survive, but Smoker's not gonna be giving anything away. Swaps out his Sheriff for a ghost. Smoker, he's just something different. He wanted to go in for those 1-taps, and Smoker, he's feeling himself. Being on that Brimstone revitalized him. Now it's gonna be 2-0 from his side and a 1-0 scoreline for the side of Weird. But Velocity, once again, it's just a pistol round. We can't really say anything about it, not just yet.
Yeah.
Taking it slow, taking it steady. We're gonna see all of the plays that can happen on the buy round, because in a way, on mine, winning out on the pistol round, it's quite difficult unless you're on the defensive side.
I mean, unless you're a little superstitious like me, I look at statistics, right? First map, pistol round goes to Esports, they win the game. Second round, second map, Velocity win the pistol round. The game goes towards them. I'm a little superstitious. I'm not saying anything that Esports win the pistol.
Okay.
Nonetheless, Bad actually finds the first one. Marzel is down already. That's nice. Esports, they have the advantage in terms of weaponry, and now they can make it work for them. Interestingly, Esports, they came back from a really nice recovery. After Battle was taken down by Deathmaker, it would have been really difficult for them to probably make any differences, to make any changes. But they did so, and they did come back. Now, all these sprays, all these guns, Deadly 10 with the triple kill for himself, and Deathmaker all by himself. Yeah, nothing much was expected off of Velocity in this one, but Esports, they start strong, and that is exactly what I wanted to point out. The recovery on defense was nice. The defensive formation looks good, especially with the double controller, just like you pointed out. They have dedicated controllers for dedicated sites. What more do you need?
Especially when you consider the Brimstone being such a prominent pick with the Molly as well as the long-lasting smokes. He can alone hold that B side beautifully. But the thing is that, yeah, he can solo hold B. It's good. But that A side is a little bit more susceptible to a lot of the damage that could be done there. A lot of the angles can pretty much be walked into. Yes, the Viper can get a lot of value, but Pixels on that A side, he has not been as good as the B side, I would say, primarily from the statistics, but maybe it can work. Ooh, Vibor goes in for a massive wide swing on his own accord, but he's not going to be able to survive. Hellfighter, though, with a magic number on his side, should be able to get a kill with it at the bare minimum, but I don't think even a magic number can save them from a 2-man hold from Hookah. But right to Ace. 3 kill onto a Rio, but now where do they go here? Hookah control has been established, but that's it. It's going to be a wraparound rotation, and they're walking straight down over to their death. Pixels, good night, goodbye. Vibor has your phone number.
Phone number? Sure. Esports right now. What can they possibly do? Bad Love will be shot to death. LF in prime position. They are on the backstab. These guys, they can get a few kills, snatch a few kills away from Velocity Gaming. That's exactly what they need. But right here has an idea where they're coming from. Yeah, a triple kill for this man. Easy 2 kills by all these players. They were shift walking their way behind them. It's like, no, you're not allowed to do that. I know exactly where you're coming from. My high-tech gadgets, they have sonar in them. My eyes and my brain have sonar as well. But nonetheless, Velocity Gaming, they finally get up the mark 2-1 right now, the scorecard. But Bind looks kind of even Stevens, and Esports aren't really giving them a lot of space. Now Bad Lab has an op to work with as well, which basically means Velocity will be struggling for space even further. 3 players on the B side, 2 players defending the A. It's going to be interesting. This looks like to be a B hit, and Bad Lab is in position already. The op and the close angles. I love these. Like the amount of hard pumps that you get right at the final stage when a player is about to peek out to an operator is just absolutely insane.
Bad Love, he can easily go in for a kill here, but Bad Love, oh no, he's still going in for it. This guy's an absolute madman. He had 2 players watching him, and he still wanted to go in for this fight. Poor old Deathmaker, he didn't know what hit him. You would never even be ready for something like this. Who stays there with an operator after you force him off that angle with a shock dart? And Bad Love,
Maybe Bad Love
just stood there. He's gonna take all of the pain. He's gonna take all of that damage. Just does not care. Now, Velocity, they've already lost out on Deathmaker. They don't have a proper entry into the site anymore, other than Marzel. But with that raise, you want to go over to the B side, but that's just not gonna happen because Bad Love, he's not gonna be giving anything to you. Before, he's on a beautiful lurk, but still, he's not gonna be able to do anything here. The side of Velocity, it's all but over for them. Maybe just 1 kill? That's not even gonna happen because Pixels, you know what's up. And Bad Love. Ooh, Rio. A 1-tap straight to the forehead. That's how you end it all off.
This was dominating from Weird Esports. Like surprisingly, like this was the first full buy round from both the teams, and Weird Esports are like, wait, just come to our turf, and we're gonna welcome you with open arms. And there you go.
the
There she
guns
goes. Bad Love with the sniper rifle. He just deletes Deathmaker as well as 3 others, while the rest of the players, they are prime position to get the 2 more. They didn't lose a player. None of the players were like below 50 HP to work with. Weird Esports, they're on a roll right now, and Deadly 10 is already pushing up in a very aggressive angle. He does have backup. Here comes the Astra. He spots out Helef, but I don't really understand why is Helef eager to take these tools. There is the Sova as well, and he will try and peek out at the right time. The operator, this can be high risk. Weird Esports, probably not high reward enough. All these players will start pushing up. You can see that they have given up showers control as well. This can be very problematic. Deathmaker, especially in that position. There is Pixels though, and Pixels is someone I can trust. Yop from Bad Love can cause problems. The Gravity Will as well as the Nova Pulse can shoot him out of that position, can force him to not take that duel by
Timing.
Team Velocity. Yes, exactly. Velocity, they move back. They're still trying to play out. They're still trying to, split the defensive battle while the Spike is slowly traveling towards the B side.
Yes.
No hookah control. There's only one player in B, and this is exactly what Velocity want. They're playing the mind games to perfection, and one player is doing so. That is going to be Deathmaker. One guy, and here comes Velocity. They pop off absolutely. All these players, they're basically too late to come in for reinforcements. Bad Love, I'm not really sure what he can possibly pull off with the op right now. Bad Love will be taking down Marzel as they're already Deadly 10 with a Gravity Well. These players trying to cause a diversion, trying to cause a deflection. Helef will be untouched, will be unbothered. The Spike goes back towards the A side, but Deathmaker and Helef, they're just cleaning things
Flawless
up.
for a
This is
flawless
scavenging duty. Velocity. Is this a chess game aggressive?
The way that they're moving around the map is absolutely immaculate. You can see that Velocity, they're showing so much respect for the side of Weird. They understand that, hey, if Weird are going to play like this, we need to be a lot more smarter in our approach. A flawless round for a flawless round. That's how you should always answer your opposition. 3-2 on the scorecards here, ladies and gentlemen. And Velocity, the primary reason why they were able to take that last round so beautifully was the fact that they read into the situation. They did not go in for overswings. They were jiggling out every single corner, and then right at the very end, they understood that, hey, Weird possibility that they have a full stack on A. The read is going to be good for them, and they're able to find it all as well. Beautifully done from them to find that one. But now, with the A side on the cards, before takes a good chunk of damage, but Bad Love, he got a kill onto Helef. This is going to cost them here. Now that Helef is dead, they don't have smokes to work with, and they don't also have a Gravity Well or even a stun. How do they want to approach this site? They also don't have the 2 smokes from Deathmaker. How do you enter a site now? Everyone's stacking onto A. Vibor stuck in a corner. He was supposed to get out using that smoke, but this is not a position that you want to be in. Bison got the upgrades as well. Oh no, Velocity. Is this the caster's curse in action? Is this sweet old lady?
Funny business. Why do you have to pull off that rocket launcher? Why do you have to pull out the rocket launcher in that position? But nonetheless, Weird Esports are playing weird, I guess.
30 seconds
Kind of
left.
sticking to their name. Deathmaker is gonna get another one. He retrieves the spike. Marzel is in the backstab already. Bad Love is gonna find Deathmaker, but that's about it. Marzel, this man can cause a problem. Does not really have the showstopper equipped. Pixels will be deleted. Here comes Bad Love with a sniper rifle, getting his streaky and demolishing Velocity back. You mentioned it rightly. Losing the controller early on was a real problem. With no smokes, how do they get into sight? There is one answer. They basically
You don't.
Yeah.
You go back to spawn and you rethink your strategies pretty much at that point. But the thing is that it's not even Helef's fault. The fact that he died there was just a good read from the side of Bad Love. Pushed out from shower, spotted out Helef, and got that kill. He just was that confident. And the thing with Bad Love is that as soon as he feels really confident, especially on the map of Bind, he's always going to be able to perform. This is his best map. We have seen all of the best plays that he ever had in his entire career on this map in particular. At least in tournament play, that is. That's how good he performs here. And the fact that Weird have such a strong defensive hold, they can trade blow for blow against Velocity. 1 round for them, 1 round for the other. But now with the 100 speed now being popped, finally with so much utility being given out as well. Pixels! Ooh, that would have been costly, but at the same time, hey, nothing to really worry about because Marzel, he's right there with a showstopper on his shoulder.
Nobody. 3v5 right now. One more goes down. Bad Love eliminated. Deathmaker, what can he possibly do? He's gonna find another one. Smoker, even he's gonna get taken down. Rio by himself in a 1v5 situation was like, nah, I'm gonna save my weapon, but Vibor is here already. This is such...
Found them.
This is such a pain in his heart already at this point.
Yeah, just Rio, just lie down, play dead. And it's another flawless.
I don't play that. What the hell? Nice.
Dude, Velocity, they're traded out flawless rounds. The rounds that they're winning are all flawless rounds.
But then again, Weird Esports are coming with flawless rounds of their own. So
exactly.
It's basically like two fighters just holding each other. They're like, all right, I'm gonna smack you, and then the other fighter smacks him back. The fighter takes it and then he smacks him back, and he smacks him back, and he smacks him back. It's like trading blow for blow.
Like, you know that slap fight like that you have with a couple of your friends?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
both of you just start slapping each other, and then you start slapping your hands. That's kind of the situation, but Bad Love, he couldn't slap those daggers into the face of Velocity. It's down with a couple of those, and Deathmaker instead was going to be the one to win out on that engagement. For Old Smoker gets caught out by the boom bot, needs to try and survive that. Not going to even live for long though, and now Velocity, they have a free B-side to work with. It's not looking good for the side of Weird, but at the same time, another flawless of the cards, maybe?
Spike planted.
Maybe. Not really sure. We are the deadly
Get
10.
grounded.
One slap, Deathmaker is down.
One enemy remaining.
The judge play from Pixels might actually retrieve the weapon. Yes, he does. A 1v3. At this point, all he has to do is to try and drop weapons. What do you think, Aggressive? How many can he do?
I personally would say one weapon, but yeah, with the knife in his hand, I don't think that's gonna happen. Right to Ace, walks out, gets a kill on towards the face of Pixels. So it's 4-4 on the scorecards and an equalization. Expected. Nothing really out of the ordinary that was supposed to happen. But now, the thing is that Bad Luck, he still can't buy himself another operator. And without that operator, they're in a pretty tough position to begin with. They don't really know how to force their opposition into a very uncomfortable position, to say the very least now. All of the rounds that they did win was on the back of Bad Love just getting operator kills all over the map. Now that he doesn't have that, they're playing purely based upon those Vandals and Phantoms, and Velocity, they know this.
Need that back.
They can be as aggressive as they want, and they can actually get away with it. But Bad Love, look at this man. He positioned himself in such a cheeky corner. If that Outroad spots out Helef, it would have been over, man. But the tag didn't catch him. And now this is going to give Velocity a chance to try and survive.
5v5 still. 2 ultimates on the camp of Weird Esports, 3 on the camp of Velocity. 4-4 the score line. This is insane. This is as close as it gets. Both Weird Esports and Velocity Esports putting their best foot forward. Marshall though just waiting for his teammates to create an opening from a shot.
Nice one,
One nice shot on Pixels completely deletes him. Deadly 10, will he re-peak that angle? That's the question. And all these players from Velocity Gaming, they start funneling in from the A shot as well, and they're popping off. Deadly 10, will he be capable of topping the players from coming in from showers? That's definitely a question. Mars and finding Smoker. All the players from A shot, they are just causing problems for Team Weird Esports right now. They just held in the same angle for way too long, and Deadly 10 just couldn't really cause a diversion.
Right at the very end, spots on Rio and takes him out as well. And that's the thing. It feels like the amount of control that Velocity have is a lot. And they're slowly but surely breaking down a lot of the sides. They understand that, hey, on B, it's going to be a little bit of a problem to enter. We don't really have a lot of control on B long and also hookah. And even if we did, Deathmaker is not close to us. He's on towards that A side. Marzel's on shower. How do we go in for an entry on B? We just can't. If we go in for a rotation as well, they're going to smell us and they're going to go in for a fast rotation because that's what they're known for. This is why we really do like the side of Weird, because the rotations are really quick. They're very clean. And how do you cut off those rotations? By going in for a side preference on random. You show your presence on B. You seem as though you want to hit the B side, but the thing is, if Weird go in for a fast rotation onto B, they have seen that Velocity, they've already read into their strategies that they're really good at rotating. So they're not going to rotate at all. They're just going to hold down the side. And if you're able to figure out how many players and what kind of and which of these agents you really don't want to go up against, they already know that the B side's a really hard side to hit. They allow Marzel to walk in, get that free kill onto Pixels, who is the main primary problem. And now without Pixels on the A side, there's nothing to hold them back. They can go a fast execution on A, and that's exactly what they did. Side control in their favor. Shots were really clean as well.
Flight.
And they were just able to take that round. 4 and 5 on the scorecards for Velocity. And Velocity feels like they're the ones...
No.
What? Wait a second. Pixels?
And he's not gonna check. He pushes
No.
up and he's not gonna check.
Oh, wait. Hellfighter's doesn't even know. Wait, he knows now. He's going. He's like, hello, you're my best friend. Ow! Hello!
Dropped your viper.
You
Bad
know,
luck.
best friend things, man.
See ya.
Yeah, bad luck finds LF at least. Vibor trades him back. It's a 3v4 right now. Deathmaker
Blocking sight.
versus Rio. Not really happening. Players from Weird Esports, they're still struggling to make it to the A side. VLT have good close on positions. You look at the crossfire between Deathmaker and Marzel. This is immaculate. This is nice. Weird Esports yet to make some ground, yet to make any sort of map control. And eventually, I guess, they will just have to succumb to the brilliance of Team Velocity. Deathmaker gets
remaining.
Deadly, gets Mocha, gets Rio, gets everybody, and a 3k for himself. Sadly, will he be able to survive? Yes, he will be able to survive the blast.
This is just another form of control from the side of Velocity. They're just in their element once again. In Bind, I personally thought that Weird would be in a little bit of a more better position, but it feels like Weird, they don't really know how to stop Velocity. The fact that they're playing this slow, Weird need to take a little bit more initiative. They need to start pushing a lot of the different corners, but the thing is, Salty, pushing with the composition that you have right now is a really bad idea. You don't have a flash. This is why a double initiator would have been a lot more better in comparison to a double duelist. But the thing is, without that Sky, they're lacking the usage of a flash. They don't have a Killjoy or a Cypher, sorry, to hold down the site while the Cypher or the Killjoy goes in for a possible push, gets a little bit of information with his camera. They don't have any of that. They need to use their own bodies to get information. Yes, the Sova's giving them a lot of info to work with, but the thing is, the Sova's information is good for what? Like maybe 10 seconds? And after those 10 seconds, someone may just occupy that space and you still need to clear it once again when you're pushing forward.
Yeah.
There's nothing that Weird have, and Velocity, they're reading into all of that. The fact that they're playing this slow and it's working is a testament to the fact that they're not really over-aggressing any of these corners. They're using out their own utility to bait out their opposition's utility. And when they have no more utility to work with, that's when Velocity, they find that perfect opportunity to pounce on their prey.
Here.
True, absolutely true. Bad love once again will be pushed back. But this time, though, he's going to get Marzel.
Oh my
He's going to
God.
get Vibor as well. And he escapes with murder. This is nice stuff. Weird Esports have such an opening. Rio, he is there for backup, so they don't really have to worry about the fact that Bad Love had to go to the A side. Hell, still going to make something happen from Hookah. Try and clear those corners. Deadly 10, though, will be pushed back. Oh no, the gravity well. Can cause problems, Rio. He needs support.
Blocking sight.
At this point, I guess Deathmaker and everybody else from VLT, they have actually made their way in. Deadly 10 is just gonna slap them back. This man just walks back and was like, alright, goodbye. Velocity gave him just two-man side, even right to Ace, really taking down Battleup, and his op shenanigans have been causing problems. Helef, time and time again, has been trying to cause them problems. Showing the gun barrel out of the smoke. He was like playing, alright, this is my gun barrel, this is me. Hi guys, try and shoot me, but nah, that doesn't really happen. Weird Esports, they get 5 rounds back, 5-6 the score line. They have 4 ultimates to work with in this last round of this first half. This is gonna be insane. Look at this, aggressive. If we get to see 4 ultimates from Weird Esports on this one, 3 ultimates from Velocity Gaming, we're gonna see 7 ultimates in one round. Have you seen something like that ever?
Hey, I have seen the 10 ultimate rounds as well, dude. I still remember casting with Assassin once. We saw 2 Brimstone ultimates, 2 Orbital Strikes. We saw 2 Viper Spits, an Astro Wall. And then there was a showstopper in the middle of it where everyone just died because of that showstopper. But we're going to be talking a lot more about that later because I don't think that none of them are even going to need to use any of their ultimates. Wait, no. There's gonna be an ult being popped. Side of Rio.
Thank God.
Does get a kill
Spike
from
down, B.
on towards the face of right to ways, but still Marzel, he wants to get this revenge kill. Hellfighter in the back, Marzel in the front, and Hellfighter's just gonna get a cheeky kill down on 1. He's looking for more, but Deadly with
You
only
want to
30
fight
HP, there's nothing that he can do. Here comes the Astral Wall. With that, it's already done and dusted.
Spike
Pixels
down, B.
gets a spike for himself, and this is a 2 versus 2 situation. Very much possible for the side of the defenders to win this one out, especially with Pixels holding it down strongly with the Vipers.
Yeah, Deadly, you have a showstopper, but he didn't really use it. Helef actually trying to chase him down, and here comes the raise.
Player standing.
Wait, what? Helef, he actually finds Deadly 10 in the process, but Deadly 10 was like, nah,
Switching sides.
nah,
My
my
last
rocket,
dying wish.
my rocket, my rocket is gonna do the job. His rocket does the job, actually.
Nice accent.
I wanted to speak in a Brazilian rap god accent. Marak, Marak.
Alright, I'll give it to you, Salty. I'll give it to you. We woke up on the wrong side of the bed, the both of us, so it's completely fine. I understand, Salty. I understand.
I mean, dude, look at this. I'm excited, all right? Weird Esports versus Velocity 1-1 already, and now Bind the Decider going 6-6. Who wouldn't be excited? I'm feeling myself right now. This is it. This is what Weird Esports fans will be wanting. This is probably not something Velocity fans would be expecting, but for neutral fans, for you and I, this is heaven. This is paradise. This is what people meant by, I don't know, fairy tale? This is Weird Esports at their very best playing against Velocity Gaming, and I absolutely loved it. I absolutely love it, man. Like 6-6. I expected that Bind would be like at least a little different. I thought that Velocity might be going all the way in Bind, but Weird Esports, the kind of performance they've shown, this could have been actually even better had they used 4 ultimates in that round. They could have got that round easily. I mean, Brimstone had that orbital strike as well. Didn't really use it, so considering all of that, I guess it doesn't really matter at this point. They are 6-6. They've got the run for themselves. Everything that has happened in the past is in the past. It's done and dusted and buried 6 feet under. And now you've got to think how to progress any further. Velocity, they are on defense. How do you crack open this defense? One thing is for sure, Weird Esports, they've got clear-cut calls. They've got no second thoughts in their decision making. They don't hesitate to make rotates and fakes from one side to the other, and they do it blazingly fast. And with Bind having portals to aid their rotation, I guess Weird Esports can be a problem for Velocity Gaming if they try and push up. Now Deathmaker does exactly that. He gets spotted and gets pushed back. 2 players trying to challenge him in showers. The rest of them, they are in the B side right now. This is interesting. The Outrun guy spots him, but Deathmaker slaps Pixels. Bad stuff. One player down already for Velocity. One player down already for Weird Esports, while Velocity Gaming, they're just cruising at this point.
Dude, I love the fact that Deathmaker just jiggled a drone, dodged out the tag, and then swung out and got a kill on towards the face of Pixels. Like, come on. Who can do it other than Deathmaker? He's just that good.
Deathmaker was this cool kid in school who dodges his bully and then swings him back.
Dude, he dodged his bully and just slapped him in the face as well and just ran away. There is nothing that Rio could have done to survive that, but bad luck with that sheriff. Maybe he's gonna be that difference maker, right? He does get 2 dings, so a good chunk of damage being given, but this damage needs to get results. Kills are required, and everyone from the side of Weird are low now. Is this history repeating itself?
left.
Initially it was Velocity, and now it's the side of Weird. Who's gonna be winning this? Will Weird be able to pull off a miracle? But Marcel, oh my god, that felt like a free fire, man. That's
Yeah.
how
Enemy
quick
remaining.
that was.
Velocity Gaming en route to making this the 7th round, and they win the first round. They win the pistol round in the second half of things. I don't know. I'm not really superstitious about the second pistol round. I'm superstitious about the first pistol round. But nonetheless, Velocity at least win this one. They make it 7-6 and have a very good chance of making it 8-6. But then all of that doesn't really matter. You look at this. All right, Marcel is just gonna pop off, and beautiful shot on Spoka. But yeah, good stuff from both the sides, but Velocity Gaming especially. And now with upgraded weaponry, now with SMGs, they will try and make it 8-6, but then a full buy round might come from Weird Esports, and they will have to claw their way back to even Stevens. It's not going to be easy. Once again, they resorted to pistols, but Velocity Gaming. Look at so much utility being dumped into that A side. Like, what is that? It doesn't look good.
It's just... I honestly do have to say that Weird, sometimes they can pull off the most incredible of plays, but then at other moments you just question what they're up to. It's kind of like us, man. Like sometimes we are gonna do very chill commentary. We're gonna do exactly what the game is telling us to do, and then suddenly on the next moment you start singing a Brazilian rap.
Swarm grenade out.
No,
It does happen, man.
that was a nice one. That was a good one. I'll give you that. The recon does come in, and Deadly 10 actually finds Victor with
This
the
is what I
classic.
mean. This is what I mean. He just walks in from shower on towards the smoke and gets a kill for
Spike
himself.
planted.
But Deathmaker is on the backstab already with the Sheriff. He finds Deadly 10 on his missed. All his shots missed. Battler, what are you doing?
One
Take it
enemy
slow,
remaining.
Marcel. With a satchel, it's gonna push out Smoker. He will actually want these close angle tools, but Marcel is gonna drive by Smoker and give him it. 8-6 the scorecard. And slowly and steadily, Velocity, they're still getting the lead back. But with SMGs right now and Weird Esports going on for a potential full buy, this should be their round. If not, Velocity kind of pull something back. What is Deathmaker typing though in the middle of the game? What are you typing, my man?
Let's just not talk about the thing that happened to Bad Love.
Yeah, let's just not talk about it. Ignore that.
And let's just ignore all of the weird things that happened to Weird in that last round.
Dude.
Let's just say that Bad Love was AFK. He came back and he was like, "Why
mean,
is my
see-
mouse glitching out? Why is my mouse glitching out like this? I wasn't shooting at him."
He's a
Fine.
top fragger of the team, I guess. I can give him that. He has got 30 kills for his team. He has been that offer, and he's done a good job. With the Sheriff, I guess it does happen sometimes. Marzel though is gonna push back the Weird Esports attack with the pain shell. But I don't think that's gonna hold them back for too long. The outrun comes and it will be destroyed. Some information being given out. I'm actually waiting for the killjoy from the side of the Velocity to actually pop off the judges there.
Down
Through the
B.
smoke, Marzel actually finds so many players. 3 players down already. Rio just finds one. 4v2 right
Last
now.
player standing.
Jetmaker, another one. Pixels finds at least 1 frag. At least 2 for him. It's a 1v2 right now, but with 20 HP, the odds are really not with his favor. And Jetmaker, yeah, that hurt.
Dude. Magic number. Magic number is here.
Probably.
You don't see it?
I mean, nah.
Come on, give it to me. The magic number is here. And this is where the comeback should be possible. If it's not for the magic number, it will never happen.
I mean, no, I for sure know the number causes magic, but Weird Esports, their attack has been a little problematic, especially with the eco stack against their favor.
Oh no,
for sure they can
Marcel.
connect shots, but it for sure is going to be difficult. One player has been spotted, right to Ace will be pushed back. The drone does come out, but yeah, Weird Esports, they start funneling in as a unit, but they
Oh God, Rio!
wait, what just happened right there? Rio drives by, slaps
Okay,
one
right
bullet
place.
right to Ace, completely ignored over there. He finds 2 frags on his own, but nobody's gonna check his angle. Here comes Deadly 10 with the Bucky, but even that's gonna fail. A 3K for him. Pixel finds another
Enemy
one.
remaining.
Give him the
Here
ace.
comes right to Ace.
Come on,
Yes.
Smoker. Swing it! Swing it!
Here he finds the ace. Right to Ace, my man. I know it was an eco round. I know the 2 players just did not check him. They just did not care to check that angle, but this
Good.
man
Right
did
to
convert
Ace.
an ace.
Right to Ace is just like me in high school in that situation. I was stuck in that corner. No one even noticed me. A little bit of dark... a little bit of a dark side to my old childhood, but still, yeah. Right to Ace, I feel you. But in this situation, he's like that kid in the back of the classroom. Like, you know, the kid that no one really notices, but he's that kid who's like super dangerous. He's planning on killing you any chance that you're gonna get.
No. Let's not go there. Let's say he's planning to answer all the questions when they profess to ask. killing people is like very,
no.
very dark.
This is an assassination class. You gotta remember, these players are looking to murder each other at any possible chance. So, come on, the reference is perfect.
I'm a light-hearted person. Aggressive, don't do this.
No. You're coming to the dark side with me. It's happening.
Weird
You're
though.
stuck
They're
with
just
me
holding
here
back.
on the desk.
It's interesting. They have a nice crossfire, but Smoker is actually looking for the B connector region. He's trying to check in for players coming in from mid, while Deadly 10 is waiting for Deathmaker and Co to push up. It's gonna be interesting. Deathmaker has some idea. Deadly 10 baited out the shot, and now Smoker has his attention. Here comes this.
Oh my god,
Wait, Vibor just runs past the smoke and gets 2 players. The classic does come through, but Deathmaker finds another one of his own. 5 2 ace with 100 Ray Pixels all by himself. 4 HP and Velocity Gaming 11 to 6 on defense. 5 consecutive round aggressive. What is happening? Weird Esports, they aren't really playing the natural game, are they? Or are they just struggling with economy? They haven't had full buy rounds too many times.
it's the problem of their composition. I was telling you this over and over again. They needed to get, like, you know, a lot more rounds on their own defensive side. And Velocity losing out on 6 rounds, it's nothing to really be surprised about. The fact that they even got a 6-6 scoreline against such a difficult composition just goes to show how strong Velocity they are as a squad. But as soon as the tables turn, as soon as they're on the defensive side, it's very different, because now the attacking side, what do they have? How do they even enter onto the side? They need to brute force their way in. Yeah, a couple of the utilities are going to be there, but still the utility is not going to be able to get a lot of value. Even this time around, they do have the side, but Vibor, he has a lockdown to work with. He can force everyone off this angle, and he has nothing to really worry about. A player on his back, a player on his front, and that's lockdown. It's impossible to destroy. I don't think this lockdown's even going to be able to get this. Yeah. The lockdown does not get destroyed by the nade unless it lands completely directly on top of it. Marcel's on the flank as well. Gets 1 free kill for himself, and now he's going to be able to get a second. That's the thing. The compositional disadvantage is way too great. There's no way that Weird are going to be able to win this, especially now that they don't have any form of a lead from their own defensive side.
Exactly. They don't have any lead. In fact, they're trailing by 5 rounds right now. The Brimstone probably knows that players are going to be hot on his tails. The Jet trying to make his way. Bad Love. Will he be able to create an opening? Does have the daggers equipped. He's been spotted as well. There is an operator. He's going to find Deathmaker. Nice shot though. He's going to find LF as well. The turret, the only piece of opposition that he's going to find. Will he find Vibor? He almost found Vibor, but nah. 6-12 the scoreline. Velocity are just rolling with it, almost en route to making it 2-1 against Weird Esports. But really, I gotta give it to Weird Esports, man. They just came so close. But I hate to say this, but yet so far.
It's just under
Deathmaker.
What
Deathmaker.
did they do?
I mean, a double duelist composition isn't really bad, especially when you're playing like a Jet and a Raze in this one. But since they are like double controller, they don't really have any sort of flash to work with. Pixels shuts down Deathmaker. He actually gets Vibor as well. Good opening for the team, especially with the backs against the wall. This can be problematic for them. But Marcel once again is gonna find Deadly 10. Deadly 10 just did not perform in this one, which he did in the first 2 games. Marcel as well as I believe the Astra, both of them are gonna be on the backstab. And here comes the Viper Spit. Weird Esports can actually make this work if the ultimate kind of pays them dividends. Right to ace on the backstab as well. Rio probably isn't checking. This can be problematic. The rocket launcher does no damage. Marcel just walking in, plainly walking in, no respect. Pixels and Bad Love punishing them for it. There comes only one guy, Hellef. He does have an astral divide, but it's not going to be of any use. No vision inside the greens, ladies and gentlemen, with the smoke as well.
He's just chilling. What do you do here? Poor old Hellef. Yeah, he's gonna be good for 1 kill, but that's all that he's gonna be able to find. 1 versus 3 situation. There's no way he's gonna be able to get this. Takes himself up a gun. Hellef's right around the corner. He's looking for 1 more kill for himself, but he's not even gonna be able to get that. They're not gonna give him anything. Hellef, he's hunted him! But Rio's right around the corner to get that kill and shut him down almost immediately. 7-12. and a possible 7 and 13 to close everything off. Is it gonna happen? Is the real question.
Yeah, true that.
But Deathmaker, he has an operator now. So
Deathmaker for sure has an operator, and with that being said, I guess he can uh, make it 13 for Velocity. Not really sure about that, but the way Weird has been playing, the way Weird has been trying to get into sight isn't really very convincing, right? And one thing is for certain, you can see that there is a lack of flash. Bad Luck versus Deathmaker, and Op versus Op showdown, which Bad Luck convincingly wins that one. A man advantage established already for the side of Team Weird Esports, and they can really use it to find openings. The defense will be spread thin. Pixels can actually push up. Helif has been pushed back, especially with all the damage that he has taken. He does have the Astral Divide to work with, but I think it's a little too early to commit onto that. Will be spotted, and through the walls will be taken down as well. 3v5 right now, and slowly and steadily VLT is crumbling right to it. He's holding a very weird angle. He's gonna drop the spike, but Bad Luck is gonna shut him down. Marzel in the B side,
One enemy remaining.
chilling. Vibor finds Pixels, but that's about it. They're trying to go towards the B side. The spike's there already. Velocity Gaming have only one form of defense, and that's gonna be Vibor. With not a lot of utility left, it's going to be a little difficult for him to isolate all those frags, don't you think?
yeah, there's not much that he can do, but maybe before. Oh, dude, he nearly turned around and got the kill onto Deadly.
Had a chance.
Deadly. You cannot miss out on shots like this, especially when you got a free trade like that. If Vibor turned around and just casually tapped Deadly in the forehead, I
Deadly
would
had
have
an amazing-
lost my voice. I would have gotten up from this chair and just walked away. I wouldn't even say a damn thing. Marcel, and if Marcel was sorry, if Vibor was able to get that round even right at the very end, I'm done. I'm just so done. It could have happened
Velocity,
in an alternate dimension.
Velocity saved your career as an analyst. Now Vibor saved your voice as well. What more do you want?
Yeah, dude. I hope lost everything at this point.
Oh my god, Weird Esports. They're actually playing well though. They are getting rounds for themselves. 8-12 is not a bad scoreline, honestly. Right to Ace will get some information. But nothing to do of this information, honestly. You do expect players in that position, but no aggression as of yet. And that's what's surprising, right? You do have two ultimates available. That's gonna be a play stop from the side of Jet, as well as an Astral Divide on the side of Velocity Gaming. It's interesting that Bad Luck is still pushing up.
Here.
Deathmaker, do you really can you face your fears again, Bad Luck? I'm not really sure.
Yeah, that's just not
He-
gonna happen. It's just impossible. Deathmaker can even get himself an operator if he wants to. Just pick it up, run on back, get a much more stronger hold on that B-long position. But they all know, Weird know that they cannot contest Deathmaker. He's in his element. He is feeling
30
himself,
seconds left.
and they need to show that respect. But now, Smoker, he's gonna be doing exactly what his name says, smoking A, and he's gonna be moving on down forward. You know I had to salty. You cannot stop me. But with Marcel throwing out that paint shell, that's gonna slow them down. And with only 40 seconds left on the clock, they're going in for fast execution. But Marcel is running around the corner. No, right to A. Just kill them all. Finish them all.
Down B.
Oh my god, right to A.
This is mass murder. This is mass murder, dude. What was that right to Ace? I mean, this man just Deathmaker
No,
for sure, for sure.
Right to Ace.
It's like, all right, guys, goodbye. It was fun having with you. It was fun staying with y'all, but yeah, I mean, you look at the way VLT played, right? They played around the block to perfection. They knew there's going to be a rotation, especially after the Astral Divide. And as soon as it happens, right to Ace was in position with his nuke, and he just dropped the nuke and was like, boom, destruction.
How did right to Ace even expect something like that? I don't really get it. Salty, he was waiting there. He knew exactly what we were thinking. They were like, Weird's not going to be coming here. There's no way they're going to be doing something like this. And they just popped out of the corner and just slapped them both. Let's head on over towards the match highlights here, ladies and gentlemen, to see exactly what went wrong all the way from the start and right up to the very end. Velocity, they had a very dominant win to their side. You could say that, yeah, it was not really dominant, but in my eyes, it was. Do you know why, Salty?
Right?
What?
I
No, no.
mean, the scorecard doesn't really justify how dominating VLT has been. That's what was gonna say.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
said it's dominating, but it is actually dominating. But for sure, Weird Esports had to struggle to get their rounds, and that's basically it. But
Yes.
overall, if you look at the overarching storyline, the velocity they've been dominating in the map of mine.
Yes, primarily due to the fact that, hey, Weird, they had a much more stronger composition on defense. A double controller is beautiful on the defensive side, especially when you have a double duelist to work with as well. The duelist will be able to take a lot more of the engagements that the controllers are setting up for you. But the thing is, this is why I say it was dominating. The fact that Velocity were even able to get 6 rounds against them and take a 6-6 scoreline, that should not have happened at all. Weird should have gotten a 9-3 or a possible 10-2 because of the compositional advantage that they did have. And as soon as the tables were turned and Velocity was on the defensive side and Weird were on their weaker side because they had no form of a flash to take entry, the problems just started adding up from there. Yes, I understand you wanted to keep that player on your side, but what if you had a Reyna, Phoenix, or even a Sky in this situation? Things would have been a lot more different. You would have had a lot more avenues to attack, and your attacking side would have been so much more stronger with the double controller setup. That was the problem. They had no utility for entry. What do you use for entry?
The same goes for Velocity as well. Even they did not have flashes, but at least
They
they
have
had
the
the
Astra.
Cage.
They have an Astra. That's the thing. That's what I really wanted to highlight. The Astra allows you to go in for a lot more entries, but with the other two, initiators, you pretty much rely on your duelist to go in for a rush, and that's it. You smoke, and then you're like, okay, duelist, go in.
Yeah, makes sense.
But with an Astra, you have a gravity well, you have a stun. You set up your duelist a lot more better.
You basically set up your duelist for success. With that being said, though, I mean, Weird Esports, this was one round where it went really, really close. Right? That is what I wanted to highlight. Yes, for sure, the scorecard might be like, oh, this actually went pretty close. It wasn't really like a 13-5 or 13-4, something which you would call a dominating victory. But looking at the overarching storyline, looking at how the game progressed, VLT were at much comfort, and Weird Esports just couldn't find themselves at comfort in this one. They did find it in the map of Haven, though, and the map of Haven was pretty interesting, but as the game progressed, VLT just found themselves more control, and finally they just got a victory. A 2-1 victory against Weird Esports is probably not what a lot of Velocity fans would have expected, but I'm pretty sure that they've got a good time, honestly, because games like these don't happen generally.
It just really does not happen. But at the same time, you have to give it to Weird to just, switch up their strategies to such an extent that they were able to take something like this away from Velocity. Velocity, they were known to be a team that was untouchable on Haven. No one could touch them. Deathmaker just mowed them down every single time. But now Weird, they have been the ones to take away this map from Velocity. So in a way, the problems are going to be adding up, but still, well played from Velocity to take a 2-1 victory against the side of Weird. Let's head on down over to the group standings here, ladies and gentlemen, to get the visual representation of what the teams are going to be looking like moving on down forward, because the fact that Weird are able to take at the bare minimum of one map, it's good. I always talk about this. Even if you are not able to win a single game throughout the entire gauntlet, if you're just a single set, throughout the entire gauntlet, if you're able to win one map through all of those sets, you're going to pretty much guarantee your position throughout the entire thing and not get relegated at the bare minimum. But the thing is,
qualify. 7 points, not that bad.
But in Group A, though, Salty, the thing is, pretty much anyone can qualify. We don't know who the top 4 teams are going to be here. All of these teams, they have the potential to go over onto playoffs, and Weird, if they're able to take down Velocity on one of their best maps, and I personally do believe that they are not going to get the fear of getting relegated whatsoever.
See, I had only one ideology in Group A. That's going to be Group A had 3 big guns. That's going to be Velocity, Enigma, and Reckoning, right? Now, Reckoning, they had a poor start. And that basically means that there is one more slot for the playoffs that these 5 underdog teams will be looking at. Now, their next game is going to be against Enigma, which happens later tonight. You know, Enigma is hot in form right now. They're winning tournaments. They're coming second. They're just getting all the success that they want. And going against Reckoning, who have had a rough patch in the past, it's going to be tough, and you basically know that Reckoning might actually end this with they might actually get to another loss, and not go any further in the league as well. So it's going to be interesting how the rest of the teams or the rest of the underdogs, ranging from FS Esports to Sus Squad, what these teams can actually push forward for. Because we have Weird Esports, as we have FS, both of whom who have actually done pretty good. FS Esports, they were at the top of the league before the start of this game, but Velocity, they're back on top right now. But with 5 points in from 3 games, they have set themselves up for success. And even Weird Esports are doing good as well. So considering all of the situation, we might see 2 underdogs in playoffs from Group A, considering how things have been. But Reckoning, not really sure about them. I hope that they can come back stronger, but it's going to be a little difficult.
I honestly don't even know if Enigma are gonna be able to make it as well. We don't know exactly. That's the thing. Like I feel as a Group A, other than Velocity, we have no idea who's gonna be heading on down over into playoffs. And the same goes for Group B. The Gauntlet is just shrouded in mystery here, ladies and gentlemen. And hey, you don't want to miss a single game, because if you miss a single game, I'm pretty sure your favorite team, they're gonna get put down in the dumpsters and they could just get relegated as well. You never really know. And hey, if you don't want to miss any of the action, make sure to hit that like, hit the subscribe, and also hit that notification bell to get notified when we do go live immediately all of our streams. And if you want to catch up on the scheduling as well, make sure to follow us on all of our socials. All the links down below in the description. And hey, as you are down there clicking on the social links, make sure to click on a couple of links from the side of Crucial or our apparel partner 656 if you want a jersey like this. I finally got my jersey. I talked to them. They got it to me. And also Salty here. He's looking fly. He's looking clean. And hey, if you want to look like us, if you want to look this clean, we got you covered at 656. And also check out Cosmic Bite for a lot of the other products that they also have in store for you. But for now, it's going to be your boy Aggressive, joined by Salty signing on off. We're going to be back with you more at the 8 p.m. games for the LG Ultragear Tec Gauntlet Season 3. Powered by Crucial. Our apparel partners are 656 and our accessory partners are Cosmic Bite. We'll catch you all soon enough.